about that. Yeah, are you? Yeah. I wear them probably too late in the year.
So, like, then they have Michigan State and Nebraska. So, like, they have the game, so if they win them, they'd be, like, good enough to probably get in.
They beat Oregon, though, right?
Yeah. I'm going to the game. It should be. It's like the biggest game. Yeah. It should be. It's like the biggest game at Kinnick in, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
But, dude, I think Oregon's good, but Indiana went in there and beat them, and Iowa played Indiana pretty well. I think Dante Moore's pretty good.
I mean, I honestly, I don't think it would happen, but if there was 3 loss, it's a Big Ten school. They could maybe get in.
They're not getting it at 3 losses, especially if they lose to Oregon. They just wouldn't have that good of a win. Their best one would be USC in that case. Like, the thing that they've got riding for them right now is they just beat the shit out of everyone.
That's fair.
Thank you. Which is why, like, when the college football playoff rankings come out, I'm sure they're going to be, like, top 20. I guess.
I'm surprised they weren't ranked this week.
It just depends what they do. If they beat Oregon, they could be, like, top 15. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start the intro.
Winterset Football is on the air on the W Digital Network, powered by AHV Productions, sponsored by Farmers and Merchant State Bank, Winterset Dental, Whitney Messer-Schmidt with Edward Jones, Tiki Treats, Integrity Financial, Madison County Healthcare System, Agriland FS, The Sports Page Grill, Roush Collision and Restoration, McDonald's, Swanson Masonry, Suds and Pups Laundry and Dog Wash, The Pizza Ranch of Winterset, Jones Creek Apparel, Montross Pharmacy and Gift Shop, a Union State Bank, and the Husky Booster Club.
We've got playoff football here tonight in Winterset as the 11th ranked Huskies with a record of 6-3 take on the 8th ranked Independence Mustangs, also with a record of 6-3. Hello and welcome in everybody to Winterset here tonight. My name is Evan Wessling, joined alongside Jack Keller for tonight's matchup. And Jack, I mean, the big thing is, one, Winterset hosting a playoff game here tonight, but it should overall just be a very, very fun contest.
Yeah, I mean, Independence is obviously a very good school, getting an at-large bid, and their entire team starts with their quarterback, Christopher Meyer. He's absolutely dynamic through the passing and the running game, and it's going to be a huge test for Winterset tonight.
Yeah, we do this every broadcast. We'll break it down each side, but since you teed up the Mustang quarterback in Chris Meyer, I think that's definitely where you start. And, before we get into the numbers, I think it's fair to say he is one of 3A's best quarterbacks and is in contention for the very best. And I do feel like he is a very similar archetype to Hudson Scholl, who Winterset saw week 1, that is ADM's quarterback of Class 4A, plays a very similar style. And Scholl, he had his way with the Huskies in week 1. So what does Winterset have to do in order to stop Meyer, who's almost a duplicate of Scholl here tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to stop with limiting his legs. We saw I mean, he has over 150 carries this year, and obviously that includes sacks, but that's something that he's going to try to get to his legs. So you've just got to try to manage part of his game, and I think taking away his legs, maybe having a quarterback spy, maybe containing the edge a lot, that should be a main focus for the Huskies on defense tonight.
Yeah, his numbers on the season, he's just under 1,500 passing yards with a completion percentage just under 61%, 13 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. But like you said, Jack, the really impressive thing is what he can do on the ground. 159 carries, 1,300 yards. That's good for just over 8 yards a carry and 19 touchdowns. He's got 32 total touchdowns, which is tied for the most in Class 3A. So the engine, the motor, the heart of this team is Chris Meyer, and Independence will go as far as he takes him, and it's certainly a big task and a big challenge for the Huskies tonight.
Yeah, I think when we saw with Hudson Scholl, I mean, they were just ADM was just able to move the ball up and down all over the field, and I think the big difference with these quarterbacks in high school is being able to throw down the field.
Right.
Like a lot of quarterbacks, they can make the throws between 10 to 20 yards, but when you can make that throw over 25 yards, that's when the offense can really unlock a different element.
Yeah, and you look at a couple of his weapons, and they're a very interesting team where they will run the ball with their running backs, but just 43 carries and 32 for the top 2 backs because their top guy is their quarterback in terms of what they like to use on the ground. So they do throw it a lot. They're kind of one of the rare teams. We did see it a little bit last week with DMC that they like to do those 5 receiver sets. Independence is a very similar team. You look at their top 3 weapons in terms of receivers. Zeke Simons, 36 receptions, 454 yards. Bryce Christian, he's got 45 catches for 374 yards. And then Dawson Fueling, 29 catches for 400 yards. So that's 3 guys that are just around 400 yards or more, all over 30 catches. And so there's a lot of places that Meyer can distribute the ball to, which is going to be a big task for Winterset because they can go anywhere. You're not going to be locked in on one guy because they can put it anywhere on the field.
Yeah, and I don't think Winterset's really seen a passing attack like this since Adel. So it's definitely going to be a different challenge for Winterset just because they haven't faced it really all year long. Nevada threw the ball quite a bit against them, but it's just something that this defense has not seen a lot of, and they're going to have to prepare pretty well to make sure that they don't get caught off guard.
Yeah, looking at some offensive numbers for this team before we go ahead and talk about the Husky defense. This offense just under 35 points per game. They're putting up 380 yards, 184 through the air, 198 on the ground. So, like we've said, they can do it in any facet. They're a dynamic, high-octane offense. And how will the Huskies stop them? Well, a couple pieces to look at. Tonight, in order to do that, you always start with Jace Bellamy. He's eclipsing 100 tackles on the season, which would be a very, very impressive feat in high school football. Just the 10th game here tonight, so obviously you're looking around just 10 tackles per game. He's got the most in all of Class 3A with 93, but it doesn't just go there. He's got 9 passes defended and 5 interceptions, tied for the most in terms of picks in Class 3A. And when it comes to Bellamy, we bring him up every single game for a reason. I think the thing you have to talk about tonight, is he plays at single high, so he's big against the run or against the pass, but he's going to be just as important downhill as a run defender.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Jace Bellamy can really provide for this Winterset defense today is being able to stop Meyer getting out of the pocket, because if you have Jace Bellamy playing a little farther down and closer to that line of scrimmage, he has the ability to be able to stop the run with Meyer.
Yeah, looking at a couple of other pieces, the linebackers will be big in this one for multiple reasons. For the Huskies, they run a 4-4 defense, so you'll see the likes of Wyatt Swanson, Crew Hockett, Ben Porter, Trevor Banning. As your main 4, Cooper Johnston will certainly rotate in as well, but those guys have a tall task. For the same reason we kind of talked about Bellamy, they're in that kind of that middle area where when you have a team that is so dynamic in both facets of the game, you can't, pin your ears back in one facet per se, so they're going to have to be super, super disciplined. And I'll be very curious to see if there's any play action involved to get those guys kind of off task, if you will. But, Jack, what's kind of, in your mind, the keys for these linebackers? Because it does feel like for Winterset to stop this offense, it's more than not dependent on those 4.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the linebackers are going to have to be asked to be in a lot more pass coverage than they have over the past really the whole season except
Right.
for Adele, just because they're going to be throwing the ball so much more. These linebackers are used to having to stop the run as their main duty, but now today they're going to have to stop the pass a lot. So I think that that's the main goal for them, is to be able to stop the passes, especially over the middle. I think because especially in high school football, over the middle, that's really where you can make your money. So, I mean, these linebackers are going to have to do a good job against the pass today.
Yeah, a couple pieces on the defensive line to note. Zach Cloak and Jaden Lyon, the two top guys on that defensive line. Cloak, 24 tackles, 3 sacks. Lyon, 16.5 total tackles. No sacks, but 3.5 tackles for loss. Looking at the Winterset defense, they're just under 24 points per game. They've done a good job generating turnovers, 20 on the season, 12 interceptions, and 8 fumbles. Saw last week that Winterset's offense had a little trouble holding onto the ball, something we'll talk about when we get to that side of the football here in just a sec. But it does feel like one of those games where Winterset's not going to be able to win when you're -2, I believe, in the turnover margin is what it ended up being. But this defense is going to have to find a way to generate a couple more here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I just high-octane offense, I just don't think that you're going to be able to turn the ball over like they did last week, just because, I mean, they get the ball back, they're going to go down and score. So, obviously, getting the ball, turning Independence over is going to be a huge thing for Winterset tonight, and also holding on to the ball on your side.
Looking at the Husky offense, the story of this team over the past month, where they've ripped off 4 consecutive wins, which is the reason that they are in the playoffs and playing here tonight, it's been because of their run game. It comes for a bunch of different pieces. It starts with Ben Porter. He's their bell cow, 6.5 yards per carry. He's just under 900 total yards on the season. Then you'll see the likes of Jace Bellamy, Wyatt Swanson being used in wildcat situations. Nathan Rivera has also come on late. And I know we've tried to tee up the passing game for the past month, but I think this is the night that I'm finally giving up. Maybe,
too. Yeah.
maybe it works, and it's not like they're incapable of doing it. We saw a couple of really good passing plays off of play action out of the wishbone that resulted in touchdowns last week, but I think it's time the two of us kind of settle that this is a run-first football team, and there's nothing wrong with that because it has won them gains against all levels of competition over the past month.
Yeah, I think what you have showed over the past month, especially against DMC, is the way that you run your offense, a really run-heavy style, but it's not like a traditional run-heavy. They, like you talked about, they use a multitude of different players and a multitude of different formations. So with that, you can have a really kind of a creative run offense that has worked really well against Williamsburg and DMC, two of the better teams in their district.
Yeah, and obviously it started against Knoxville. It popped again against Sadell, You'd expect that, but I think the reason that you kind of come in tonight feeling good about your chances if you're a Husky fan is because of, like you said, what they did against Williamsburg and against DMC last week. Those are, playoff teams. Williamsburg just missed the cut. They were the first team out. They kind of got a spot robbed. Carroll and Atlantic both, I think Atlantic was maybe around 14. Carroll was like 20. So a couple of teams that were very low in the RPI, but with the district champs and runner-ups getting in, it made it hard for Williamsburg to get in there, just left out. But very quality teams that they were able to run the football on, which means, hey, you should have a chance tonight against Independence. Looking at those running numbers, we obviously mentioned Porter just under 900 yards. Rivera's got 316. Bellamy has 303, and Swanson has 321. So like you said, Jack, it can come from anywhere. But the one thing I did want to talk to you about, because we did tee it up a little bit, is what this team can do in play action. It's not a drop-back team. I think we both feel confident that if they needed to be a drop-back team, they have the pieces to perform well in that type of offense. But their success has come in the play action, specifically out of Wishbone. You get those guys, the defense, to creep up into the box, and we saw one to Drake McDonald scoring a touchdown and Daxon Weeks also scoring a touchdown. So how big, if at all, do you think is the play-action game tonight here for Winterset?
I mean, it's going to be huge. When you're looking at it at a wishbone, specifically look for number 6, Wyatt Swanson. He's not always on the field at a wishbone, but if he is, you can expect that they might go to play-action there because of his speed. He's a big, fast receiver. He's perfect for a play-action shot down the field. And like you talked about, Drake McDonald as a tight end underneath, they've been really successful running a lot of stuff for him out of play-action at a wishbone as well.
Some big numbers on the offense. They're just under 30 points per game at 29.9. This offense has been uber productive over, really all season. They had a low output against Van Meter. That was their season low with 12. Other than that, they put up 20 or more in every game. But over the last month, 56, 29, 41, and 31. So they've been cooking with gas. 355 yards per game. 128 is through the air, but a whopping 228 on the ground. So plus 100 on the ground for this Husky offense. But that's pretty much all we got on the Husky offense. We'll flip it over to the Mustang defense. Very similar style as Winterset. They main in the 4-4, so you're going to see kind of copycat schemes tonight. The offenses will be the difference because they're different schemes, and we'll see who can tack the 4-4 a little bit better. Independence does do something a little interesting. If they get into third and longs, they revert into a 3-3-5, or really a 3-5, I should say. But they have 3 on their defensive line, and they bring one of their linebackers down as an edge rusher, so kind of a NASCAR package type of thing. But it will be very interesting to see how this works. Again, a very similar layout. Their quarterback, Chris Meyer, fills that Jace Bellamy role on the back end in the single high. And then they rotate in 5 guys as their linebackers. Whelan, Mostek, Bieber, Troutman, and Boniface. All options there in terms of the linebackers. And it's kind of the same question, but Jack, is there anything Winterset needs to do specifically to take advantage of a defense that they obviously know very well firsthand? They face it every day.
Yeah, I think you need to get in good spots to take shots. That would be like 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1. Those are plays where you can take shots down the field. You can run some play action, try to get a deep ball to White Swanson, because in those, if it's incomplete, 3rd and 1, you feel confident in Winterset picking it up. So I think getting in those 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, maybe 3rd and 1 when you're confident you can go for it on 4th down, getting the ability to take those shots is essential for Winterset tonight.
The big picture here for Independence before we take a short break, they're giving up just under 20 points per game. So this defense has been really well. They had a tough 3-game stretch against Clear Lake, West Delaware, and Benton Community. Those 3 all from their district. They had 4 teams make it in to the playoffs from District 2, which is what Independence is from. They finished in 4th, but obviously 3 incredible teams in front of them. Benton Community actually in this pod as well, Pod B. They take on undefeated Solon later this evening. But they, again, had that rough 3-game stretch where they allowed 43 points, 42 points, and 34 points. But outside of that, this defense has not given up more than 20 points per game in any other contest. So Winterset is going to have their hands full offensively tonight, and I think the main thing we can say is it's going to be a really, really fun one this evening.
Yeah, it should be high action. We see 2 really good offenses, and like you talked about, some pretty good defenses as well, so it should make for a pretty good matchup.
We'll take a short break here on the W Digital Network. When we return, we'll be closer to kickoff of the opening round of Class 3A's playoffs.
AgriLand FS is a financially strong and dependable cooperative rooted in more than 90 years of experience with our eye on tomorrow. With 28 locations across southern Iowa and northwest Missouri, and from the field to your home and all points in between, you can trust AgriLand to be there when and where you need them. Call 515-462-5353 to learn more. AgriLand FS, where loyalty and integrity still means something.
High school activities have given me the opportunity to get involved and make new friends.
Compete in sports that I love and meet new people.
Do something I love while building the programs in my community.
Not just be a role model off the court, but also be a role model on the court.
Make connections and meet new people.
They give me a reason to work hard and better myself for the future. Set good examples to the younger athletes.
Have a positive impact on my community.
Help us support Iowa high school activities.
Looking for a taste of paradise right here in Winterset, Iowa? Come chill at Tiki Treats, Iowa, your local spot for Hawaiian-themed treats. Dive into creamy Dole soft serve, refresh with our tropical snow, sip on fresh squeezed lemonade, and snack on warm buttery pretzel bites. It's a tropical getaway, no plane ticket required. Swing by Tiki Treats, Iowa today and treat yourself to a mini vacation in every bite.
Remember when retirement meant just stopping work and slowing down? Well, nowadays it's about so much more. Today's retirees are embracing newfound freedom and exploring new interests. Edward Jones Financial Advisors are here to help you identify your priorities and goals and create a plan to achieve them. Call Whitney Messer-Schmidt at 515-468-6200 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Integrity Financial Group is a financial services partnership with offices in central Iowa. Here you'll find expertise in insurance, accounting, and investments all under one roof. Their commitment is to help you make sound financial decisions and protect what matters today and into the future. CPA Ben Applegate, insurance agent Eric Johnson, and investment broker Jason Claymeyer are there to help you. Swanson Masonry specializes in foundation replacement throughout central Iowa. If your foundation is damaged, their experienced team can safely and efficiently remove your existing foundation and construct a new one. While foundation replacement can be an extensive undertaking, Swanson Masonry has the skills necessary to get the job done right. Let them put their expertise to work for you. Give them a call at 515-210-3463.
Is your puppy in need of a little TLC? Bring them down to Suds and Pups for a complete spa treatment in the state-of-the-art pet wash, located next to Straight Shots Golf Simulator at 215 North 1st Avenue in Winterset. And don't forget, attached to the dog wash is Winterset's newest laundromat, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Stop by today.
Jones Creek Apparel offers graphics and logo design, screen printing, embroidery, direct-to-film, and promotional products. Proud supporters of Winterset Athletics. They are happy to work with any organization or individual, regardless of the order size. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. Give them a call at 515-462-4132 or visit their website, jonescreekapparel.com. Jones Creek Apparel.
The colors this evening are being presented by the veterans of Winterset, American Legion Post 184.
Officials for tonight's game are Mr. Justin Miller, Mr. Chris Johnson, Mr. Jake Gillespie, Mr. Ryan Bones, and Mr. Joe Lucas.
Independence won the toss and deferred. Winterset will receive.
It will be Husky football to get this playoff game started. Independence won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. So it will be the Husky offense to get things going here tonight. Again, Evan Wessling with Jack Keller here tonight for the opening round of Class 3A's playoffs. Both teams 6 and 3. Independence finished 8th in the final RPI. Winterset 11th. So two fringe top 10 teams meeting in the opening round. Obviously, most games that you'll have in postseason football are going to be very, very competitive ones, and that's what we're expecting tonight. Independence, one of the 4 teams to get an at-large bid. Benton Community from their district, who is also in this pot as well, got one of the other at-large bids. Des Moines Christian from this district with the Huskies got one of them. And then
I
think they were the runner-up. So I can't remember the 4th at-large team, but Independence is one of the 4, despite finishing in 4th place in District 2. Obviously a very talented one. You have Clear Lake and West Delaware, 2 of the top teams in the class. Clear Lake undefeated, number 1. Solon is a perfect 9-0, and they're above West Delaware, who lost to Clear Lake in the regular season finale last year. But this Independence team is certainly battle-tested playing in District 2, and I think you can say the same thing for Winterset playing in District 5.
Yeah, I think definitely both these teams have gone through the gauntlet. They've both ended up in a good spot for this playoff game and what should be maybe the most competitive first-round playoff game.
It'll be Wyatt Swanson and Jude Gurwell deep to receive for the Huskies. Kick goes a little short, fielded just beyond the 30-yard line and taken just shy of the 40. So fantastic starting field position for Winterset, and they will pick it up right at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, interesting kick there. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it's going to give Winterset, like you said, some pretty good field position to start this drive.
And the quarterback is Carson Cook, the junior. Just over 1,000 yards in his junior campaign, a completion percentage of 56%. He's got 8 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Winterset in a pistol to begin this game, looking to pass. They're trying to feed Wyatt Swanson, but the throw too tall from Carson Cook, and that will make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Winterset starting in the pistol is kind of surprising to me, as normally they like to get this ground game going through the wishbone formation. It looked like Swanson might have been open there, would have had been a pretty good throw, and even if it was completed, he didn't have much room to go.
Here is the favorite formation here for Winterset, the wishbone. The give is to Rivera to start this ball game. Met right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll give him about a yard, maybe 2. And likely going to be 3rd and 8 coming up here for Winterset. And interesting, you told me this pregame, so I'll let you talk about it. But Nathan Rivera gets the opening give, not Ben Porter. And why is that?
Yeah, Ben Porter's kind of been nursing a knee injury all week long. I'm not sure how much he's going to play tonight or even if he will play, but that's definitely something to watch for if you're a Winterset fan.
Like we talked about in the pregame, it definitely starts with Ben Porter. An absolute bell cow back, 880 yards, 6.5 yards per carry. It's a passing play on 3rd down. Plenty of time for Cook. He'll unleash down the field. Swanson is able to make the catch inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that right there is just how good of a receiver Wyatt Swanson is. As Carson Cook has total trust in him. He threw it downfield. Just Wyatt Swanson had the one-on-one matchup. He threw it downfield just hoping that he would get open, and he did. A huge conversion on 3rd and long for Winterset to start this game.
It's kind of one of those where if it ends up getting taken away, it's an arm putt at that point, so not really a big loss if that ball was picked off. It would have had Independence down inside their own 20-yard line. It will be up to the 16 for Winterset. Man in motion is Little. 2 in the backfield for Cook. The give is to Jace Bellamy off to the left side, trying to bounce it, but a nice open field tackle That one was made by Bryce Christian.
Yeah, very good play right there from Bryce Christian. As Bellamy, if he gets past Christian, that's likely a touchdown, as that's just the speed that Jace Bellamy possesses to the outside, but Winterset's going to start this set of downs behind the sticks again.
Cook gives the ball off to Rivera. And a solid run there on second 11. Gets about half of what they needed. It'll be third and medium for the Huskies.
Yeah, interesting decision here for Coach Sweeney is with your kicking game so far this year, it hasn't been very consistent. I think if you get it within a 4th and 3, you pick up about half the yardage here. I think that you have to go for it on 4th down. So it's interesting to see the play call.
The long for this team is 40 yards from Wyatt Swanson. From a kicking perspective, he has it right there, trying to get as much as he can. It looks like he's going to be, certainly will be shy of the sticks. Maybe got 3 or 4. And it will be decision time for Coach Sweeney here on the opening possession of the ball game. Cook is going to come out of the game. So does Wyatt Swanson. So likely a Wildcat with Jace Bellamy coming up. It will be Bellamy in the backfield. Direct snap, he needs 3. And he will get enough for the first down.
Yeah, I love the decision right there from Coach Sweeney to first off go for it, but then use Jace Bellamy out of Wildcat. We've seen Winterset at their best short yardage situations using Jace Bellamy out of Wildcat, and that's exactly what they did. He's just so dynamic right away. He's so explosive. And he's able to pick up that first down.
That looks like it's Jace Bellamy on the ground for Winterset. You kind of could see on the replay, it looked like he threw his hand up asking for help after he was on the ground, and that's maybe the last person you want to see in pain if you're Winterset. Again, 93 total tackles on defense. He's got 5 interceptions, 9 passes defended on top of the Swiss Army knife he is offensively. 300 yards on the ground, 150 as a receiver, and even 120 passing yards. But he does pop up rather quickly. He'll jog a bit gingerly, but it gets a nice reaction from the Husky crowd. We'll keep an eye on Bellamy here on the sideline.
First and goal from the 5.
Like Jack noted earlier, already potentially not going to have Ben Porter tonight. We'll see. We haven't seen him in the ball game yet. He's their starting middle linebacker alongside their starting running back. It'd be a blow if Bellamy is not able to return, but we'll wait to see what happens with Bellamy when the Winterset defense is on the field. Husky offense, though, will be in the wishbone. They need 5 yards for a touchdown here on the opening drive. Rivera getting close, and he's in. The Huskies punching in on the opening possession.
Yeah, we've seen Nathan Rivera this year, and especially over the past few games, it seems like every time he touches it, it's a touchdown. And that's where he becomes so important, especially if Ben Porter cannot go tonight. Nathan Rivera has been a really steady running back, too, this year. It's only become better as the season's gone on.
An 8-play, 60-yard drive that is capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run from Nathan Rivera. It'll be Vallejo Montoya to kick the point after. And he does have enough, just barely gets it over the crossbar to get in. So the Huskies with a 7-0 lead just under 4 minutes into this ball game. And really, Jack, you couldn't have done anything better if you were the Huskies. You have a long shot play, some gutsy calls from Coach Sweeney, which I think sets a tone going forward to have those type of play calls and those type of decisions on the opening drive of the game.
I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of guts to go for it when you're in basically a chip shot. When you're in chip shot field goal range, you know, you've really got to trust your offense, and that's just the trust that he has in this offensive line to set the tone and to run the ball in like a 4th and 4, trusting that they can clear a path. And obviously, Jace Bellamy is just so explosive as a runner, but I mean, that's going to be a key to look for on defense is Jace Bellamy out there.
Deep to receive for the Mustangs. Looks like it will be Fueling and Mergen. It's number 3 and number 20 and White. Fueling 314 return yards, 194 for Mergen. So if either one of them get a chance here, they both have the explosiveness to make a big play here on the kickoff. It will be Swanson to send it away for Winterset. He's got 5 touchbacks on his 27 kickoff attempts. Boots that one deep, and it'll be fielded by Fueling inside his own 10, bouncing it to the far side, and eventually taken down just past the 20-yard line. So nice kickoff coverage from the Huskies.
Yeah, and in a playoff game, field position is going to be so important. As you see the difference there, Winterset's plus 20 already on kickoffs, and they're going to make Independence go 80 yards to get in the end zone.
Looks like they'll start at their own 22, and this is where we will see the ever-dangerous Mustang offense, which is led by Chris Meyer. As we talked about early in the broadcast, he's first in Class 3A in total touchdowns with 32, 7th in all-purpose yards. He's also in the top 10 for passing yards, rushing yards, yards per carry, and rushing touchdowns. It's a quick screen to get things started, and a nice gain, the completion to Zeke Simons. Most receiving yards on this team coming into tonight with 454 for the senior.
Yeah, interesting there for Winterset's defense. They had Jace Bellamy basically playing as a linebacker and Daxon Weeks as a deeper safety. I'm assuming that that's what defensive coordinator Jaden Sweeney is going to look to use Jace Bellamy here tonight, as being more of a linebacker than a safety.
We don't see a lot of Daxon Weeks on defense, just 3 tackles on the season, but he does have a couple of passes defended and even a pick 6. They go back to Simons. They say, I don't know if they're going to call it a backwards pass or not, and they will say it did go forward. So the pass is incomplete. We get a second look at it here. Yeah, great angle. You'll get to see if this was forward or not.
Yeah, definitely forward. Yeah. Look, about 2 yards.
So Price is avoided for Independence. It'll be 3rd and 4 after the incompletion. And Meyer certainly a threat on the ground here in this situation. Over 1,300 rushing yards on the season. It's 3rd and 4 for Independence on their opening offensive drive. It's a QB power. Meyer goes into some traffic. He'll be right at the line to gain. We'll see if they give it to him or not. No signal yet. And they will give him the first down. So he gets his 4, and Independence moves the chains.
I mean, right there, you just see how much they rely on Meyer to use his legs and how impactful he is with his legs. Is on 3rd and 4, biggest down of the game for them on offense. They go to him on the ground. It is interesting. Ben Porter is playing linebacker for Winterset, so maybe that's something where they think it's easier to manage him as a linebacker but not a running back.
Porter number 10 in black. A little bit of a bobble on the catch from Fueling, but he does bring it down, and once again a good gain on first down. Looking at about 6 yards once again. And that'll be something that would be interesting just to keep your eye on tonight. If Independence is able to stay this far ahead of the sticks, it'll be a tough task for Winterset's defense to hold them.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about in the pregame, Winterset's pass defense hasn't really been tested all that much this year, so you just don't really know how good of a unit it truly is. And it looks like Independence' main game plan is just to throw the ball as much as possible.
It was 7 yards there on first down. They give it off to the running back, who picks up about 5 yards. Mostick, the ball carrier, 310 yards on just 43 carries this season. Again, the focal point of this offense is their quarterback, especially in the running games. You won't see a ton of carries from the backs themselves, but the team will be active from a rushing perspective. Fresh set of chains after the gain of 5. Man in motion. It's going to be Schmidt. And we've got a flag likely coming back 5 yards.
false start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty, first down.
They call that on the right tackle, Riker Hurtis. The 6'2", 245 tackle for the Mustangs. And this kind of feels like the set of downs if you're Winterset, where you've got to take advantage of them being in a 1st and 15 type of situation.
Yeah, I will say it's a little bit easier for a heavy passing offense to combat being behind the sticks like this than a heavy running offense. But like you said, they need to take advantage of this set.
Meyer rolls out to the near side, pump fakes, now launches one downfield and over top of his receiver. He was looking for Simons, and it will be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it looks like Simons had a little opening there, and if Meyer could have, I mean, that's obviously a tough throw. He's going to his offside, but if he would have hit Simons, he might have been able to walk into the end zone. So just see how dynamic Meyer can be outside of the pocket. And even though he missed that throw, it's going to be key for Winterset to keep him inside the pocket and not let him get outside.
You've seen screens today to Seymour and Fueling for gains of 6 yards and 7 yards. So they can definitely get close very quick. There's another screen. It goes to Fueling, and nice job in the open field. Gurwell making the tackle after a gain of just a few.
Yeah, very good job by Gurwell. Right here, you'll see got blocked. He kind of lost on this rep, but he was still able to make the tackle right there. Just a really good job of not giving up on the play, as it looked like he prevented maybe 7 or 8 yards. It looked like the receiver had a lot of room to run there.
It is 3rd and 12. Coming up for the Mustangs here. Big spot for the Huskies, and they're actually running, looked initially like it was going to be 3 defensive linemen, then Banning came down on the bottom of your screen at the line of scrimmage. And potentially a timeout, and yes, Coach Putz burns his first of 3 here in the first half, and obviously a very pivotal down. It's been a solid drive for the most part for Independence, but he had the 1 false start and then the incompletion. That put him in the 2nd 15, just a tough spot. But, you know, we talked about when they got to the 1st and 15. This type of offense, you can't let them be in very manageable situations, especially with the threat that Meyer offers. So a chance here for the Huskies to really make a statement. They did it offensively, now a chance to do it here defensively.
Yeah, obviously, kind of like I talked about on that first down play, you got to keep Meyer in the pocket, especially on 3rd downs. A lot can happen if he is able to get outside and either throw on the run or use his legs. So, I mean, it's going to be key, and this is how they're going to use Jace Bellamy, as right here it looks like they're going to have him at a true safety spot because it is a 3rd and long, and use him that way.
Looks like potentially a 2-high shell with Weeks and Bellamy at the safety positions. We've got Cooper Johnston actually on the line of scrimmage as an edge rusher. So a very different formation than what we've seen from Winterset really all season long. Meyer flushed, throws batted at the line of scrimmage, but it falls down. Nonetheless, a big stop for the Husky defense, who will force a punt from the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think it was Cooper John that was able to knock down that pass. They did a good job of forcing Meyer outside to the short side of the field. He didn't have a lot of room to run, even if he was able to get outside. And Winterset with a huge stop to get this ball back.
Punter for this team is Dawson Fueling. Again, you've seen him with a couple of receptions there on that opening drive. Just 5 punts this season. 160 yards, good for 32 per punt. Bellamy gets way in the air, and a bounce in favor of Winterset. They'll say it bounces out at the 45-yard line of the Huskies. So despite an 8-play drive, it only goes 20 yards, takes off a good chunk of time, a little over 4 minutes. And Winterset has great field position once again.
Yeah, I can't quite remember where they kicked that ball from, but you're looking at a net punt of, I mean, less than about around 10 yards right there. Just not what you want to see out of Independence, especially with the weak field position they had to start the game and the great field position that they gave Winterset.
I formation for Winterset here on their second drive of the game. Last time they had a 5-yard touchdown run from Nathan Rivera. He gets the carry there. Nice cut! And a first down for Nathan Rivera on the opening play of this second drive.
Yeah, what Rivera offers is just a really quick, elusive back, as he's able to make some really quick cuts and pick up 12 yards in just a blink of an eye. So that's kind of in contrast what Porter's been able to give you. He's just an absolute downhill runner, and he's impossible to tackle behind the line of scrimmage. So it's just a little bit of different element to this Winterset offense tonight.
Huskies riding a 4-game winning streak to get themselves not only into the playoffs, but hosting a playoff game as the District 5 champs. Bellamy sheds a tackler, and there he goes. Jace Bellamy inside the 20-yard line in this Husky offense with some explosives here early tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is why Winterset uses so many different backs. As right there, Jace Bellamy. I mean, he's just so quick, but he's also so hard to tackle. You can't just tackle him at the legs. Like, you've got to try hard to tackle him. He's able to pick up 30 yards right there. Just an absolute explosive back that Winterset has.
25-yard carry for Jace Bellamy. They'll go to Rivera. And this time, not a lot for Winterset. A gain of a few on first down. Their second trip into the red zone here tonight, though. Last week, we saw them get down a couple of scores, and they were able to climb out of that hole. But we'll see if they can be the ones to have that lead and what that does for them, especially with this running game. If they have the lead and they have the clock on their side, they can find a way to drain it, starting very early. They'll go to Rivera, trying to bounce it. And he does a nice job getting past number 31, Cale Troutman, eventually met. He does get a few, and you'll have, looks to be 3rd and 6 coming up.
Winterset was almost in this exact same scenario on their first drive, about a 3rd and medium, with a chance to go for it on 4th down, and they used Wyatt Swanson out of the Wildcat. So I'm curious if they're going to go to Swanson again, as it looks like they've got Swanson and Bellamy in the backfield.
We saw this formation a couple times last week. It led to an 84-yard touchdown run for Swanson. He gets it on that same type of play, bouncing it to the edge. We'll see where they're going to spot him. Looks like he's just around the 10-yard line, which would be very close to what they need. No signal yet if it's a first down or not. If they don't get it, it's going to be 4th and less than a yard. It will be officially 4th and 1. The Huskies need the 10. They're basically right on it. Fourth and 1. Cook gives it off to Rivera, and he's definitely going to pick it up and some. Diving into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, just beautiful work from the Winterset offensive line. 4th and 1, huge spot, and they just clear a big hole. Nathan Rivera to run through, and then he breaks it to get into the end zone as Winterset with a great start to this one.
6-play drive, once again capped off by Nathan Rivera. Huskies go 55 yards. They'll try to take a 14-point lead here in this first quarter. Swanson to attempt the PAT this time around. The first one was from Vallejo Montoya. Swanson 5 of 7 on PATs this season. And that one certainly has enough, and it splits the uprights. Winterset up by 14 here in the first quarter. Obviously still a lot of football left to be played, Jack, but Winterset may be coming out better than the two of us expected.
Yeah, I mean, we know how good their offense has been. And, I mean, they've just been able to use all these different players just over the past, month and a half. You know, at the start of the season, they just didn't really know what they were as an offense. But since they've been able to find their identity, they've just been going all the way up and down the field so easily. But now Winterset, their defense is going to have to step up as well. Up by 14, you're in a really good spot. But obviously with Chris Meyer and how good of a quarterback he is, you obviously can't count out Independence.
Yeah, they can get back to it very, very quickly. There's no doubt about that. Vallejo Montoya will be the one to tee it off this time. He's had 24 kickoffs, hasn't had any for touchbacks. Winterset as a team 5 for 51 in terms of touchbacks and on kickoffs. And now Montoya will come off the field, and it will be Swanson. So erase that. Wyatt Swanson will get his second boot as the kickoff man here in this first quarter. This one goes to Fueling once again. Cross the 25, makes a move, and a good return. We told you these returners for the Mustangs are electric. They get a good one there. They'll start at their own 35-yard line here for their second drive.
Tackled by number 36.
Last drive, Independence went 8 plays. Only picked up 20 yards. Their drive stalled after a false start, made it 1st and 15, and incompletion on the following play made it 2nd and 15, and Winterset took advantage of that situation, forcing a punt, but a lot of early screens. This time they'll go with the QB power. Meyer will get close to 7 yards there on first down.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Independence go just straight QB power on 1st and 10. You don't really see that all that often, but obviously it is high school football. You have to use your athletes and use them to the best of their ability. And, I mean, obviously this is Independent's entire game plan on offense is over 160 carries now for their quarterback.
Approaching the final minute here in this opening quarter. Feels like a drive where Independence definitely needs points, the way that the Husky offense has moved the ball down the field to start this game. They do the same play with Meyer, and he'll get a first down. Looks like they're going to give him around 5 yards.
Tackled by Bellamy. Mustang first down.
He gets 6 there on second down, so 13 yards on 2 carries for Chris Meyer. And that's just been the big thing. We kind of noted it on that first drive. This team gets ahead of the sticks. It feels like all the time. And they've done that here to start this drive. But another great tackle in open space. This time, I believe it was Wyatt Swanson.
I mean, that's just simply Wyatt Swanson's explosiveness. I mean, you've seen it on offense, but on defense, he jumps that screen pass or that little bubble. They've been running those really all night long, and on their first possession, they went to those a lot. Wyatt Swanson diagnosed it, was able to drop them for a loss of 3.
Independence doesn't have to snap the ball if they don't want to. They do, and it's a designed run for Meyer once again, but he doesn't have a lot of room to work with. Looks like they'll give him 2, and you're going to have 3rd and long when we come back for this second quarter. The Huskies on top, 14-0 after 1.
Montross Pharmacy has been offering fast, friendly, and professional service with familiar local faces you can trust since 1921. Locally owned and operated. At Montross, you get quick, reliable answers to your prescription and over-the-counter medication questions. They also have the healthcare supplies you need, as well as a gift shop and soda fountain. Conveniently located on the west side of the historic Winterset Square. Open Monday through Saturday.
At Madison County Healthcare System, you're not just another patient. You're part of our family. Our dedicated team of familiar faces is here to provide personalized care throughout your treatment journey. From family medicine to emergency care and more, we offer expert care close to home. Trust the faces you know for the care you need. Madison County Healthcare System, where every patient is family.
The Husky defense once again in an advantageous situation here on a 3rd down. It is 3rd and 11. Last drive was a 3rd and 12. When they got the stop, they go quarterback run again. And Meyer, very close. Looks like he's might be a yard shy, but expect Independence to go for it here on 4th.
Yeah, I thought well that they ran QB power. Obviously, on Winterset's side of the field, you're going to go for it on a 4th and 1, and it's really interesting to see them trust a quarterback power on 3rd and 12. I mean, it's just the type of offense that Independence is.
Running back to the right hip of Meyer is Mostick. Meyer keeps it on 4th down, powering forward, and he has enough. He'll get 4 yards on 4th and 1. And so far in this drive, there have been 6 plays, 5 rushes for Meyer.
I mean, you can talk about how good of a runner Chris Meyer is, but this offensive line for Independence is just clearing the way, as I think I could have picked up the 2 yards needed there on 4th down.
Trips to the top of your screen for the Mustangs. They'll drop back and pass. Swanson on a blitz. He gets home and sacks Meyer.
Oh, man, we haven't seen Wyatt Swanson really come up the edge all that much for Winterset this year, but right there, just absolutely dynamic. As you can see him be able to rush the passer in a way that you don't see from anyone else on this Winterset defense. That's no slight to anyone else. That's just how quick Wyatt Swanson is.
2.5 sacks now on the season for Wyatt Swanson. He's done a nice job forcing a couple splash plays, had the tackle for loss on the screen pass for a loss of 3 earlier in this drive, and now has a sack that pushes the Mustangs back by 7 yards. They give it off to the back on 2nd down, met by a pack of Huskies, maybe a gain of 3 or 4, and once again it's going to be 3rd and long.
Independence close to the same situation they were on the last set of downs where they ran quarterback power on 3rd and long. I'm interested to see what the play call is here, as if that's just what they do on 3rd and longs, or if they're going to trust Meyer and his arm this time.
Independence only had 11 punts coming into this one, so it feels like they're a very aggressive team. They're going to need something here on 3rd down. They're going to go for it all. And over the arms of his intended receiver, that was Gurwell in coverage. They were looking for Simons. And now you're going to have to punt if you're Independence, with it being 4th and 13.
Yeah, very good job by Jude Gurwell right there to force Simon to the boundary. And he forced him to the outside, so there was really no way that they could complete that pass, and good coverage at the back of that play, too, to force a punt.
Fueling boots it away once again. Weeks, nice job on setting that one up. It goes into the end zone for touchbacks. So just a net gain of 22 yards on the punt. Which is kind of why I was a little curious why you do essentially a fade or a go ball on 3rd and 13. Kind of expected them to do a run, make it 4th and manageable, and go for it, but instead it's only a change in 22 yards in field position. The Huskies have a chance to go up 3 scores here.
Yeah, I felt like Independence could have gone with maybe a shorter pass if they wanted to throw it too, and not just go for the home run there. We've seen how well they ran the ball with Meyer, and I mean, we saw it on the last time they had a 3rd and long. You run quarterback power, you pick up 10 yards, you make it 4th and manageable, but obviously Winterset's going to be fine getting this ball right back.
The Huskies started on their own 40 and 45 to begin the game. This is their worst starting field position of the night at their own 20. Messer gets the carry. Maybe they'll give him a yard, and they will.
2nd and 9.
You don't see a lot of fullback dives in modern offenses, but Coach Sweeney loves him fullback dive every once in a while.
Rivera the back for Cook. He'll get the give. Nice cut once again from Rivera. You just see that shiftiness. When he sees a hole, he has that one cut, and he's explosive up the field.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten more opportunities over like the past month. But Rivera, I mean, you give him more opportunities, I think that he can show you how good of a back he really is, just because he hasn't gotten the chance to show that.
3rd and 1 here for Winterset, maybe a little more than a yard, yard and a half. It will be the wishbone on 3rd down. Rivera upfield, and he picks up the 1st down.
Some more good blocking from Winterset. You see on these big downs like a 3rd and 1, they're always going to run to the left side because of how good Leo Kirkland is, just clearing away, and Rivera with a pretty easy run to pick up the 1st down.
Obviously, we know how talented of a back Ben Porter is, but it doesn't feel like Winterset has missed a beat here tonight with Rivera in the backfield.
For sure.
Play action. Cook scanning. Now he's flushed. He's dropped a little past the line of scrimmage. Gets a few there on the scramble.
2nd and 7.
They're going to give him 3 yards there.
Yeah, I like the decision to go for a shot there as Winterset ran the ball the entirety of that first set of downs, and that's a good opportunity to catch the defense off guard, but just nothing open there. And a good job by Cook to just cut his losses and scramble and pick up 2 or 3 yards there.
Play action again. Nice blocking there from Decker, but McDonald unable to secure the catch. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, it looks like Cook had McDonald there. Those two weren't able to connect as Cook threw a little bit behind him, and McDonald just going to come down with it.
Missed opportunity there for the Winterset offense. 3rd down and 7. They went down the field with ease on their first 2 drives. 8 plays for 60 yards and a touchdown, then 6 plays for 55 yards, and eventually a touchdown. This will be the 6th play of their 3rd drive. And some trickery. Weeks has it. Makes a cut, but a nice tackle by Christian. And now Christian in some pain after making the tackle.
Timeout for an injury.
That's the senior Bryce Christian. 23 tackles on the season and a forced fumble. He plays both ways. He's a great receiver as well. Took off his helmet and clearly in a lot of pain looking at his right leg. Christian pops up. Limping his way back towards the sideline. Be a big loss for the Mustangs defensively. One of their top corners. But a punt will be coming here for Winterset, their first of the night. It's Wyatt Swanson to punt. 32.5 yards per boot for him. That one to the far end of the field, and a nice roll. Go out of bounds close to the 20-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it at about the 22.
Yeah, good job by Swanson there to flip the field and just keep Independence in these bad starting spots, as they really haven't had very good field position all night long.
And they'll start from the 22 here. They started from the 22 on their opening drive, so deja vu for them. Then they started at the 35 on their second drive. So we talked about the last possession where it felt like Independence needed some points. And that was 6.5 before the break. This feels like a spot. They've got to find a way to get something. They will get the ball out of half, so they may not have the potential to directly double dip, as Winterset could touch the ball again. But a big drive nonetheless for the Mustangs. Nice move from Seymour, but he can't get past the defender. That's Cale Hirsch. And these Huskies have been great in open field tackling tonight, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, really, like you pointed out, this has been the key for Winterset of this game is open field tacklings. Independence loves to just throw it out to the flat and let their receivers do the work. We've seen it from Jude Gurwell right there, Cale Hirsch, White Swanson. They've all done a great job of tackling in the open field tonight.
44 tackles for loss here this evening. 2 from Swanson, one of them a sack, and then one apiece for both of the starting corners in Gurwell and Hirsch. Quarterback keeper for Meyer manages to get a solid gain there on second.
Yeah, but a good job there from Winterset. They've got him in a 3rd and 8 right here on their first set of downs. So just a really good job to limit the big plays.
Absolutely.
As when Independence has had success tonight on offense, it's just been picking up 6 yards on first down. That's the limit to their success on offense tonight. They've done a really good job of getting off the field on 3rd downs.
It will be a quarterback keeper once again for Meyer. He's not going anywhere. The Winterset defense has been fantastic here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like Crew Hockett right there that was able to take down Chris Meyer. And like I said earlier, they've done a really good job stopping them on 3rd and longs. And Independence has loved to run quarterback hour, and Winterset is taking note of that. And a great job by Crew Hockett there to take down Meyer.
It's going to be the first 3 and out of the game here. Just 4 yards gained on that possession. Nice punt. It takes a bounce for Independence, and Weeks is just going to have to watch that one bounce backwards. Winterset will start inside their own 25. But the story tonight has been their defense. I don't want to overlook that because we talked about this Husky offense is proven. We knew they were going to put up points tonight. And this is a solid defense for Independence. But I mean, straight up, I'm surprised with how well this Husky defense has played. I mean, this is a very good Mustang offense.
Yeah, I mean, they've really, like I talked about, they've really limited the explosive play. And when you're keeping Meyer contained and not letting him create on his own, the most that he's been able to do is get outside the pocket, but he hasn't been able to complete anything. They've done a great job of limiting what he can do as a quarterback, and that's what's led to Winterset's success on the defensive side of the ball.
It'll be a running play on first down, and they give it off to Rivera. And it's not breaking news by any means to say this, but the bread and butter of Independence offense is 1 quarterback run and 2 the screens to their wide receivers. You saw the production from the screens on that opening drive, but ever since really the last 3 drives, Winterset has done a fantastic job tackling in open space that they've pretty much erased the screen game, and now it feels like all this Mustang offense has currently is the running game with the quarterback.
Yeah, you can think of those screens as kind of an extension of the running game for Independence.
For sure.
When you can shut that down, it makes this team one-dimensional.
Cook sends it out to Swanson, once again a little too tall. Missed him on the first drive, misses him again there on 2nd down, and it will be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, the dangerous part about this right here is Winterset doesn't pick this up. It's going to give Independence enough time to lead a drive on offense. So third 9, you can run the ball if you want to just drain this clock, maybe make Independence take a timeout, or if you want to keep this drive going, look downfield.
It's going to be Swanson to take the snap, bouncing it to the near side, cutting back inside, but he's stripped up. And doesn't look like he gained anything. And it will be back-to-back 3 and outs by these 2 teams. And like you said, Jack, definitely enough time for this Mustang offense to get some points before the break.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Independence didn't take a timeout just to keep as much of this clock as possible.
For sure. That one takes a good roll for Winterset, and it dies right around the 40. So just under 3 minutes for Independence to work with here. They have 2 timeouts. They burned one on their opening drive of the game. It'll just be curious to see, will they try to do anything else? I mean, I don't think you go away from the screen game or you go away from the quarterback run game. It's what you're built on, but they feel very one-dimensional right now.
Yeah, and it's a weird one-dimensional because everything just revolves around Meyer. They've eliminated really the screen game, so you know Meyer, he loves to run the ball, and if you can stop that, you've really stopped most of their offense.
And a problem with the snap, or on the handoff, I should say. Looks like Independence was able to get back on it, but behind the sticks, looks like they lost about 2 there on the bobbled exchange.
It looks like Independence is just taking their time. They're kind of content with this clock running down, and if they hit a big play, then they'll kind of kick their offense more into gear. But they're kind of concerned with Winterset getting the ball back right here with how they're running their offense.
They give it off to the back. No, it's a flea flicker. They got a guy wide open downfield, and the catch is made. A big play for the Mustangs, and just like you said, Jack, they're looking for a big play. They got it. Completion to Dawson Fueling on the flea flicker.
Yeah, really nice play design right there. That manipulates what Jace Bellamy wants to do. He wants to come down and blow that run up. But if you run a flea flicker like that and he's already down, that leaves the entire backside of the field wide open. Independence took advantage of that to get close to the red zone.
Meyer thrown again, dumps it down underneath in the flat. Great tackle by Wyatt Swanson. Completion to Fueling once again.
Like we talked about, just open field tackling. I mean, Independence is able to get out a nice little bootleg and a nice just kind of dump off to the tight end. But if you're able to stop them on that first tackle, you can limit it to about a 2-yard gain. And that's exactly what they did.
Pump fake from Meyer. He's going to run it. Gets a couple. It'll be 3rd and medium coming up.
Yeah, interesting decision here for Independence, as it seems like you would think if they pick up almost any yards here, they'd likely go for it on 4th down. Because, I mean, a field goal really doesn't do you all that much good. Down 14. They will get the ball back to start the second half, but with how good Meyer has been able to run the ball out of power, I'd be surprised if they go away from this on the 3rd medium.
They're going to give him about 4 yards there on the run on 2nd down. By my unofficial math, have that flea flicker down for 36 yards. And that was a big get. And Winterset probably a little fortunate that the ball was underthrown because Fueling was wide open. If that is in stride or even a little bit closer to in stride, that's a walk-in touchdown for the Mustangs. This is a big, big opportunity for Winterset. I mean, really both sides, and I say that because Independence gets the ball out of half. This is the prime example of double dipping. If they get a touchdown before the break and they start with it in the second half, you could be looking at a very different ball game by the next time Winterset touches the football on the offensive side.
Throwing it.
They're looking downfield on a double pass, and it's picked off! Jace Bellamy in the end zone. And the defense for the Huskies comes up clutch once again. 3A's pick artist, Jace Bellamy, leads the class with 6 of them.
Yeah, Independence tried to get cute right there, and that wide receiver in the end zone was just not open. I mean, he was thrown into triple coverage, and a great job by Jace Bellamy to read that play. And like you said, just an absolute pick artist, able to get 6 on the year, and that's just how dynamic he is. He got beat earlier on the drive on the flea flicker. That doesn't matter. He's able to impact the game in so many ways. He's able to get that back for Winterset, and just a great job, and they can just run this ball into halftime.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if Winterset tries to do anything with this. You certainly don't want to turn it over, so just hold on to the football. Independence only has 1 timeout, so you can definitely run it out. They give it to Rivera. Nice move from Nathan Rivera. We'll see what Coach Sweeney wants to do here. Got a positive gain, but in no rush, and probably don't need to. Although I will say, we saw that we've seen the package once tonight. It's not going to happen here as Wyatt Swanson's coming up off the field, but I would have loved him and Bellamy in the backfield. Give one of them a chance. I mean, they're super explosive. It's not going to hurt you if you're running the football.
It's true. I think Coach Sweeney just doesn't want to chance anything at this point.
For sure. And
I think I'd probably go to Bellamy or Swanson here, but I also understand just running it out. You're up by 14. Just take what you've been given and go into halftime feeling really good about this game.
We'll give it off to Rivera again. And Winterset will let this one go to halftime. And Jack, just an incredible opening 24 minutes of football from the Huskies.
Yeah, you saw Winterset dominate on both sides of the football, and you've got to feel really confident about this second half just because of how good their offense and defense looked, especially their defense.
We'll head to the break with the Huskies up by 2 scores, 14-0. The Mustangs will have the ball coming out of the break. We'll see you then. For now, you're watching Husky football on the W Digital Network.
Pizza Ranch in Winterset promises you a great experience. You'll find a buffet full of your favorite pizzas, the country's best chicken, or just come for dessert. They have party rooms available for your next family gathering or fundraising event. Craving a night in? Pizza Ranch delivers. Order online or call. Open Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Pizza Ranch at 1009 John Wayne Drive.
Positive sportsmanship is an essential element of IHSA events.
Even as competitors, good sportsmanship puts us all on the same team. We should all support the student athletes competing. Let the coaches coach. Respect the officials working the event.
Be a positive representative of your school.
Thank you for supporting sportsmanship at Iowa High School activities.
The Sports Page Grill, 224 East Highway 92 in Winterset, is the place to meet your friends before or after that big event. With a great menu, you'll find something you love. The Sports Page Grill can host or cater any special events you might have. Just call 515-462-4673. The Sports Page Grill. We'll see you there, and don't forget the Sports Page is the home of Husky Talk Live.
We're really excited to announce the addition of our tow truck. In addition to our rental cars, this is going to give us a unique ability to serve you better. We're going to have the ability to take the phone call from you stranded on the side of the highway after a deer hit or a collision, with the potential to load a rental car up on the back of our truck, deliver it to you on site on the side of the highway, get you back on your way to work or to home, load your accident vehicle up, bring it back to the shop where we can handle your claim process from there.
The Husky Booster Club's goal is to broaden the involvement and enrichment of students, student families, the school, and the community through its support for junior high and high school-related activities. Money raised by the Husky Booster Club directly benefits all high school and junior high athletic and fine art programs. The Husky Booster Club has provided over $40,000 in funding over the last 3 years. To become a Husky Booster Club member, go to huskyboosterclub.org.
Looking for a taste of paradise right here in Winterset, Iowa? Come chill at Tiki Treats Iowa, your local spot for Hawaiian-themed treats. Dive into creamy Dole soft serve, refresh with our tropical snow, sip on fresh squeezed lemonade, and snack on warm buttery pretzel bites. It's a tropical getaway, no plane ticket required. Swing by Tiki Treats Iowa today and treat yourself to a mini vacation in every bite.
AgriLand FS is a financially strong and dependable cooperative rooted in more than 90 years of experience with our eye on tomorrow. With 28 locations across southern Iowa and northwest Missouri, and from the field to your home and all points in between, you can trust AgriLand to be there when and where you need them. Call 515-462-5353 to learn more. AgriLand FS, where loyalty and integrity still mean something.
Our Winterset girls team ran at 2 o'clock and finished 5th in the team standings. This marks an incredible achievement for the girls.
And for the state track meet in back-to-back seasons. Running for the girls were Mallory Beck, Morgan Beck, Sienna Evans, Julian Garlick, Ava Hope, Maven Smith, and Natalie Smith. Congratulations, girls.
Remember when retirement meant just stopping work and slowing down? Well, nowadays it's about so much more. Today's retirees are embracing newfound freedom and exploring new interests. Edward Jones Financial Advisors are here to help you identify your priorities and goals and create a plan to achieve them. Call Whitney Messer-Schmidt at 515-468-6200 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Swanson Masonry specializes in foundation replacement throughout central Iowa. If your foundation is damaged, their experienced team can safely and efficiently remove your existing foundation and construct a new one. While foundation replacement can be an extensive undertaking, Swanson Masonry has the skills necessary to get the job done right. Let them put their expertise to work for you. Give them a call at 515-210-3463.
Jones Creek Apparel offers graphics and logo design, screen printing, embroidery, direct-to-film, and promotional products. Proud supporters of Winterset Athletics. They are happy to work with any organization or individual, regardless of the order size. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. Give them a call at 515-462-4132 or visit their website, jonescreekapparel.com. Jones Creek Apparel.
Integrity Financial Group is a financial services partnership with offices in central Iowa. Here you'll find expertise in insurance, accounting, and investments all under one roof. Their commitment is to help you make sound financial decisions and protect what matters today and into the future. CPA Ben Applegate, insurance agent Eric Johnson, and investment broker Jason Claymeyer are there to help you.
At Madison County Healthcare System, you're not just another patient. You're part of our family. Our dedicated team of familiar faces is here to provide personalized care throughout your treatment journey. From family medicine to emergency care and more, we offer expert care close to home. Trust the faces you know for the care you need. Madison County Healthcare System, where every patient is family.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
Montross Pharmacy has been offering fast, friendly, and professional service with familiar local faces you can trust since 1921. Locally owned and operated. At Montross, you get quick, reliable answers to your prescription and over-the-counter medication questions. They also have the healthcare supplies you need, as well as a gift shop and soda fountain. Conveniently located on the west side of the historic Winterset Square. Open Monday through Saturday.
The Husky Booster Club's goal is to broaden the involvement and enrichment of students, student families, the school, and the community through its support for junior high and high school-related activities. Money raised by the Husky Booster Club directly benefits all high school and junior high athletic and fine art programs. The Husky Booster Club has provided over $40,000 in funding over the last 3 years. To become a Husky Booster Club member, go to huskyboosterclub.org. Farmers and Merchant State Bank is your locally owned and operated hometown bank with hometown pride, and they are very proud of the Winterset Huskies. Farmers and Merchant State Bank makes local decisions, has local concerns, and prioritizes you, the customer, and the personalized service you receive. Give them a call or stop by one of their locations in Winterset, St. Charles, or Orient. Member FDIC. Let's go Huskies.
The McDonald's in Winterset aims to offer an outstanding dining experience and a welcoming atmosphere while maintaining McDonald's gold standard in service, cleanliness, and value. Their vision is to be the top spot in the community for family and friends to enjoy great food, drinks, and conversation. They are open daily from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., with the drive-thru available 7 days a week from 5 a.m. to midnight.
When you bank at Union State in Winterset, you have a hometown financial advantage. A family-owned independent bank, USB, has a number of services to take advantage of, like convenient loan terms to grow your business, competitive home ownership and home equity loans, and personal loans for various personal needs, just to name a few. Proud to serve Madison County since 1935. Stop in at 611 West Highway 92 in Winterset or call 515-462-2161 and get your hometown financial advantage started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, and go Huskies.
At Winterset Dental, doctors Jason Phelps and James Elliott offer comprehensive general dentistry for the whole family, including same-day crowns, root canals, extractions, and implants. They now also provide cosmetic services like Botox and dermal fillers at their new state-of-the-art 6,000-square-foot facility. Call Winterset Dental at 515-462-5755.
The Sports Page Grill at 224 East Highway 92 in Winterset is the place to meet your friends before or after that big event. With a great menu, you'll find something you love. The Sports Page Grill can host or cater any special events you might have. Just call 515-462-4673. The Sports Page Grill. We'll see you there, and don't forget the Sports Page is the home of Husky Talk Live. Montross Pharmacy has been offering fast, friendly, and professional service with familiar local faces you can trust since 1921. Locally owned and operated. At Montross, you get quick, reliable answers to your prescription and over-the-counter medication questions. They also have the healthcare supplies you need, as well as a gift shop and soda fountain. Conveniently located on the west side of the historic Winterset Square. Open Monday through Saturday.
We're really excited to announce the addition of our tow truck. In addition to our rental cars, this is going to give us a unique ability to serve you better. We're going to have the ability to take the phone call from you stranded on the side of the highway after a deer hit or a collision, with the potential to load a rental car up on the back of our truck, deliver it to you on the side of the highway, get you back on your way to work or to home, load your accident vehicle up, bring it back to the shop where we can handle your claim process from there.
Is your puppy in need of a little TLC? Bring them down to Suds and Pups for a complete spa treatment in the state-of-the-art pet wash, located next to Straight Shots Golf Simulator at 215 North 1st Avenue in Winterset. And don't forget, attached to the dog wash is Winterset's newest laundromat, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Stop by today.
Welcome back, everybody, from the break. Evan Westling alongside Jack Keller. And Jack, 14-0 at half in favor of the Huskies, and they did it all. They were productive on offense, and more importantly, they shut down a very talented Mustang offense.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of curious going into the game. We knew how good Winterset's offense could be, and it felt like that was the more consistent part of this game.
Sure.
You could kind of game plan that out better. But on the other side of the ball, you didn't know how explosive this Independence offense would be. And Winterset's done a really good job of limiting those explosives. Outside of that flea flicker, they've done a really good job of limiting Chris Meyer to like 10 yards on his longest run, and he hasn't really had anything downfield except for that flea flicker, and that's just been the story of the game. Is Winterset's been able to get off the field on third down and just completely stifle this Independence offense.
Yeah, and you talked about it early that they use that screen game as an extension of their run game, and kind of in their second, third, and fourth drives, they had success with the screen game on the opening drive. That just got, deflated that drive by a false start and an incompletion that eventually made it 2nd and 15. It was just a tough task to get a first down for the Mustangs. But Winterset has had multiple tackles for loss, specifically on those screen plays. The corners have tackled phenomenally. And so since they've shut down the screen game, I mean, you mentioned it, it's really just Meyer in the run game. And at this point, if that's all they have, even if they're getting 4 to 6 yards per pop, I think you still live with that if you're Winterset.
Yeah, I mean, with that screen game, you can run that as long as it's working, but if it's not, that's just completely shut down.
Yeah.
You can't just continue to run that out. And I think it's working well for Winterset's defense because of how quick their linebackers are. When you have Jace Bellamy playing down and when you have Wyatt Swanson at linebacker, they can cover so much ground in such little time that they're able to blow up those screen passes.
Yeah, and for Winterset's offense, I mean, just an incredible opening 2 drives. They got good field position on both of those drives, started at their own 40 and 45, went 8 plays and 6 plays for a couple of scores, but regardless of the field position, they just had their way in the running game, which really should be a surprise to nobody, the way that they've ran the football the last month.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked so much about these backs, but the offensive line kind of goes unnoticed just because it's harder to point that out. But just this whole season, the offensive line has been dominant up front, and it's given lanes for different running backs and the way that Coach Sweeney can use them however he pleases. But tonight it's been Nathaniel Rivera, stepping up for Ben Porter, as he's been mostly defense today because of that knee injury. But Rivera, I mean, he's just completely stepped into this role, and I mean, the offense hasn't missed a beat with him being the main running back instead of Ben Porter.
It's going to set up for a very entertaining second half. We got about 2 minutes before we get back underway, but before then, want to cover the overall look at Class 3A's playoffs. So you'll get a look here, a graphic on the 4 pods, starting with Pod A. You got Mount Vernon at Clear Lake. Clear Lake, the number 1 team here in Class 3A. Nevada, not an at-large. They were the runner-up here in District 5. They're at Carroll, which is the lowest-rated district champ. So the Cubs could be getting a win in District 5 tonight. Pod B is including the game here tonight. Benton Community at Solon is one of your games. That the winner of this game will face the winner of that game. And then obviously you're looking at Independence and Winterset right here. Pod C, Mount Pleasant at West Delaware. Central DeWitt at Waller Catholic, and then Pod D, Atlantic at Bishop Heelan, and DMC at Sioux Center. DMC also from District 5, and it does feel like tonight you're watching teams from the 2 most competitive districts. I would say overall 3A has been a very competitive class this season across all districts, but District 2, which is the one that Independence is from, they had 4 teams make it out of a total of 16. Obviously, Clear Lake, West Delaware, Benton, and Independence. Here in District 5, you have Winterset, Nevada, DMC, and Williamsburg was the first team out of the playoffs. So you're looking at 2 teams that are incredibly battle-tested. They've played in probably the 2 best districts this season. And, I mean, what you've gotten tonight is kind of what you expected, and that has been a good football game here.
Yeah, I mean, Winterset kind of dominated that first half. I'm interested to see if Independence tries some different things on offense. Maybe a more heavy passing attack and not so much quick screen games, but more downfield passing.
Sure.
Chris Meyer has been a dynamic quarterback this year through the air and on the ground. They kind of lean more on the ground in the first half. I'm curious if they try to tap into more of that passing game in the second half.
The Mustangs will open with the football here in this third quarter. They deferred their option to the second half. Their final drive of the first half, they were knocking on the doorstep of the Huskies. They're at the 19-yard line before they threw a pick in the end zone to Jace Bellamy on 3rd and 5, and they've remained scoreless. That ball kind of dies. Independence takes a while to jump on the football, and as a result, they won't have great field position around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Winterset's special teams has really kind of dominated that facet of the game tonight, as they've been able to limit Independence to some pretty rough field position, and they've got great field position themselves.
So again, the question remains the same. What does this Mustang offense do here in the second half? You know the quarterback run game is not going anywhere, but what will they do with the screen game? Is there another wrinkle, or will they just hope that their game plan has a different result here in the second half? Not a screen, but kind of the same thing. It was a quick little hitch route on the boundary to the receiver, Zeke Simons.
I mean, Winterset is fine giving that up. I mean,
For sure.
3 yards, maybe 4 on first down, you're completely fine. Just making a short hitch route there is maybe that's what they go to, more of a short game instead of a screen game.
There's a quarterback keeper, and great job from the Huskies front, not allowing Myers to get very far upfield. Looks like they'll give him about a yard.
Yeah, great start here for Winterset's defense in the second half is force them into a 4th and medium. We've seen them use Meyer a lot in these spots, but still to force them into a 3rd down on their first set of downs is a huge win for Winterset's defense.
Expect Meyer to be active on the ground in some capacity, whether he rolls out or just takes it himself. They've got a tight end near the line of scrimmage, number 31. That's Troutman. Man in motion with Simons. There's the quarterback keeper, and there goes Meyer. Big gain on 3rd and 5 and easily picks up the first down.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of times on those quarterback keepers tonight. Winterset's done a good job of blowing just everything up between the tackles and making Meyer go outside. Right there, a big hole for Meyer to run through, and he's able to pick up the first down. As if they can get those quarterback powers to be more efficient, I mean, they worked pretty well in the first half, but if they can get it more efficient to where they're picking up at least 3 or 4 yards every time, that would be key for Independence's offense.
New set of downs from the 36-yard line for the Mustangs. Looks like Mergen is the running back. It's a drop back. No, it's a screen to the running back, Mergen. Makes one guy miss and is able to make something out of nothing on first down.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot. We didn't see any running back screens there in that first half, but going with a little bit of a different wrinkle here in the second half.
Husky down on the far end of the field. Don't have a good look on who that might be. We've already seen Bellamy go down tonight. He came back pretty quickly, so Winterset avoided an injury there. On the other hand, though, Independence had one of their top corners, Bryce Christian, go down in the second quarter. Keep an eye when they come back out defensively to see if he's still on the field. And that looks to be Cooper Johnston shaking up the play. He'll have a slow jog back to the sideline, so good to see that he's able to get off on his own power with a little urgency. They've used Johnston as a bit more of a chess piece than they normally have this season. We've seen him on the line of scrimmage as an edge rusher a few times when Winterset's gone to a 3-down front, and they'll have it here once again on 2nd and 7, just different personnel. Keeper again. Lyon got a hand on him in the backfield and slowed down Meyer, allowing a couple other Huskies to get to the quarterback. Doesn't look like he got any there on second.
Yeah, interesting there. They had Wyatt Swanson lined up at cornerback. They're on kind of the closer side on the bottom of your screen because they're so worried about this short screen game from Independence. And defensive coordinator Jaden Sweeney, he knows that Wyatt Swanson is one of his best athletes, and he can be huge in stopping those screens.
It's a quarterback run once again on 3rd down. Lyon tracking him down and brings him to the ground. Decision time coming for Coach Putz here early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I don't think Independence really has much of a decision here. You're down 14. You're close to midfield on 4th and manageable. I think you've got to roll with your quarterback and go for it here.
Looks like it will be 4th down and 4. That's the call. He had the screen pass to Mergen on 1st down. And then 2 straight runs for Meyer, a gain of 0, and then a gain of 3. 4th and 4 could be a game-changing play. Instead, it's a punt from the quarterback. Winterset has nobody deep, and a fantastic punt rolling inside the 10. So Winterset will have their worst starting field position of the night. And if you get a punt like that, it's probably okay that you didn't go for it.
Yeah, I am just kind of curious, though. You're down 14-0 with how well Winterset has been able to move the ball on offense. I mean, I know there's a lot of football left, but I think right there you had a chance to continue to keep that drive going. And with how confident that you are in your quarterback on those quarterback powers, picking up 4 yards in your midfield, I think that they should have gone for it, although they got a pretty nice punt to set Winterset back.
Winterset will start at their own 8-yard line. And not much there for Rivera on first.
Rivera, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Rivera got popped right there, just about a yard, or basically at the line of scrimmage. As Winterset hasn't dealt with this bad a field position all night long, so it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Sweeney goes with. I think in this scenario, run to the outside could work very well. We saw last week Wyatt Swanson was able to break off a huge run, almost a 90-yard run when Winterset was in a similar position.
Swanson looks to take the snap. He will. Fake to the near side, bounces it to the far side. There he goes on the outside run. You called it, Jack, and it's a 1st down for the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, when you are that backed up, the outside, you've got a lot of room because Independence is going to be playing closer to the line and trying to keep you because they think that you're going to run the ball there. But when you go to the outside, there's a lot of room, and Wyatt Swanson took full advantage of that. And Coach Sweeney knows how quick he is and how explosive he is when he gets to the boundary.
Gain of 12 for Swanson on 2nd down, moves the chains. Not counting the drive before half where Winterset just ran out the clock. They had 6 plays, so they picked up 1 first down and then punted, and then they had a 3-and-out on their drive, their last true drive. And they haven't had a great drive since they went up 14-0. They went 55 yards in 6 plays. Nathan Rivera with a touchdown to cap off that drive. Rotations for Winterset, and could be pass play coming. Got in more receivers, Weeks and Little into the ball game. It'll be shotgun, along with 2 tight ends, McDonald and Johnston. They'll give to Bellamy, who served as the running back, and nothing there on 2nd down. Met at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we haven't seen Jace Bellamy used as a pure running back all that much. When he's running the ball, it's normally out when he is the quarterback in a Wildcat situation. But now Winterset's in a tough spot. 3rd and 9, they really haven't been able to throw the ball downfield all that much outside of that deep pass to Wyatt Swanson. That's because they haven't been in this situation very often. This play is likely going to be on the shoulders of Carson Cook.
3rd down and 9. Trips to the top of your screen. It's play action. Cook scanning, fires to McDonald. Did he complete the catch? They say yes. He's right at the line to gain. Still no signal yet if it was a 1st down or not. And they did give it to him. So the Huskies get 9 when they needed 9.
Yeah, really good job by Carson Cook there to step into that throw. He made a really strong and accurate throw to Drake McDonald, who's had some trouble staying up on those catches. He did a good job of just securing it and picking up that 1st down to keep these chains moving for Winterset.
So 2 first downs on this drive for the Huskies. They'd only had 1 over their previous 2. It's Rivera once again. He gets a couple on first.
Looks like that ball is out. Yeah, what Rivera does so well as a back is it seems like he doesn't go negative. He does a really good job of when he recognizes he needs to go upfield, he does and just picks up any yardage he can.
Bellamy looked like maybe he was looking to throw. Instead, he just keeps it, and it's a good thing he did. Another explosive run for Jace Bellamy, who's still alive down the sideline and eventually steps out after a huge gain on second down.
I mean, you just can't tackle the guy. He gets outside, and he's so quick, but even when you try to tackle him, he'll just shed that easily, and that's why he's so good as a runner. When you get him outside, he's so tough to bring down, and that's why he's been such an important piece of this Winterset offense. When he really has been used on offense before this year, he was mainly a defensive piece, but this year he's been so much of a huge contributor of Winterset's offense this year.
37 yards for Jace Bellamy. It felt like that was kind of a broken play that turned into a very positive one. Rivera to the near side once again on the outside run, turns the corner, and he'll get close to 5 yards, maybe even more there on first down, potentially 6.
Yeah, you see the difference between Nathan Rivera and Ben Porter. Porter goes right between the tackles, and Rivera likes to go outside. There's no better or wrong way to do it, but it's just an interesting wrinkle, and it really puts more on the tackles instead of the guards in the center, and that's something that Winterset has. They've got 2 really good tackles, and Nathan Rivera's really took advantage of that tonight.
Flag there on second down. It's a false start on the Huskies. So they were ahead of the sticks. Now they'll be in a second and 10.
Offense number 11. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Cooper Johnston, the guilty party for Winterset. Erase the run from Rivera. And it'll be second down and 10. Winterset at the 27-yard line of Independence. Again, the long, in terms of a field goal this season, was 40 yards from Wyatt Swanson. That came in the win over Carlisle. Winterset has only attempted 4 field goals on the season. There's Wyatt Swanson. And nice job to stay alive. Wyatt Swanson bouncing off tacklers. And he's into the end zone.
Oh, man, what a run. You saw it with Jace Bellamy earlier in this possession. You just can't tackle these guys. They're so big, and they're so fast, and Coach Sweeney has done a great job utilizing both Wyatt Swanson and Jace Bellamy this season. Right there, you get a nice little end around to Wyatt, and it looked like that play was going to be completely blown up at around the line of scrimmage. He just won't go down. He's able to have a quick burst and get it in the end zone.
27 yards out from Wyatt Swanson for the score. Winterset up by 3 scores now, 20-0, trying to make it 21-0. And they will on the PAT from Vallejo Montoya. And tonight continues to get better for the Huskies. Really no complaints tonight. They have taken it to the Mustangs.
Yeah, I mean, this has put Independence in a really tough spot. Is when they elected to punt at around midfield, they were confident in their defense to stop Winterset's offense, but this rushing attack from Winterset has been so dynamic today and all year long, and they didn't really have many passing plays. They had a really nice 3rd and long conversion from Carson Cook to Drake McDonald, but besides that, they just ran their rushing unit all the way down the field for the touchdown.
For sure. And that just, I mean, there's essentially still a full half of football left to be played. Only 3 minutes have come off the, actually, sorry, our scorebug on here is off, so I take that statement back. Under 4 minutes here in the third, so really not much time left for Independence to put something together. But that, again, it's not over per se, but when you go 92 yards, I mean, that's one heck of a drive. Fueling trouble fielding the kick. There's a flag thrown on the return.
Looks like with that flag, it's going to be even worse field position for Independence. And that's just something that you can't have happen. You can't have a drive start inside of your 15-yard line. When you're down 21, you need to get this ball rolling.
During the return, holding, return number 44. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
As we said, the good continues to get better for Winterset, but the bad continues to get worse for Independence. A holding on the kickoff, and they're going to start, I'm guessing, at the 11. And that's where they're going to start. Independence, without question, needs a touchdown here. It is 21-0, 3:50 to go here in the third quarter. Again, this team is built off the screen game, the quick game, the quarterback run, and they may have to start turning into a more traditional drop-back team down 3 scores with only 16 minutes of football left to play. They're going to hurl it downfield on the first play. Weeks, ooh, an over-the-shoulder attempt. Good effort from Daxon Weeks. A very tough play to make, but hey, he'll get the PBU regardless.
Yeah,
he gets in the stat sheet.
I don't know what Meyer was really looking at, as his receiver was just not open at all. He's thrown into double coverage, and that throw was in stride to Weeks as it just went off his fingertips. His Independence kind of having to go to an offense that they really haven't had to do all year long.
No.
As it's just putting them in a tough spot, and Winterset's defense in a really good one.
Second down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Drop back once again. No, it's a screen. They get it off to Simons on the far side. And once again, this defense has been phenomenal. Tackling in open space. Simons is actually going to lose a couple there on second.
Yeah, I mean, that's really been the story of the game so far, is Winterset's ability to tackle in open space, because on those earlier drives, they kind of got some momentum going, but right once they were able to stop that screen game, this entire game changed, and Independence offense has had to go to a completely different just style instead of what they wanted to do.
It'll be 3rd down and 12. It's kind of hard to go for it from your own 9-yard line, but down 3 scores. This is probably 4-down territory for the Mustangs. They're going to chuck it downfield once again, and overshooting his man. It was intended for Simons. It is 4th and 12. I don't know if you can go for it in this situation, but you don't really have the time to punt either. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're punting with how many substitutions they have.
Which you probably have to do.
Obviously, it's a tough call, but you're trying to win a football game to keep your season alive, and just giving Winterset the ball back with the score bugs right now, 2:50 left. I mean, that's not a lot of time. About 15 minutes left in this football game, and they need 3 touchdowns.
Punt looks a little short, and Winterset's going to get it in plus territory around the 40-yard line. They'll say it went out at the 40, right at the 40.
Yeah, I mean, that's about 30 yards of field position on that punt, and if Winterset gets stopped on 3 plays here and they take the play clock down, they're going to get it almost to the end of the third quarter, and then just punt it right back to where Independence was. So, I mean, Winterset will definitely take it. Even if they go 3 and out, I mean, that's still, I mean, it's not a good drive, but it's still going to help Winterset in winning this football game. And I think that Independence coming out of halftime, punting on 4th and 4, down by 14 at midfield, that was kind of the turning point in this game where they thought their defense could step up and win it for them, and that hasn't happened so far.
Cook dropping back to pass. Looking for somebody. Chucks it downfield, and dangerous pass from Carson Cook. It falls incomplete. Kind of had it in between McDonald and Weeks, and just over the fingertips of Braylon Bieber, the linebacker for the Mustangs.
Yeah, definitely dangerous there. That one where if you're Coach Sweeney, you probably just want Cook to throw it out of bounds because they're in a spot where as long as you don't turn the ball over, they're in a pretty spot to win this game. You just want to be conservative and maybe not try to throw that ball. But I do like Cook's aggression right here.
Yeah. And maybe the stance here is first timeout's going to have to be called by Coach Sweeney. Late substitution.
Winterset.
But I guess maybe, again, kind of going back to the point I was about to make was you're at the 40-yard line of Independence. I mean, you're probably in 3-down territory. I mean, you don't want to, or 4-down, I apologize. You could punt. I mean, you're not going to get a huge net gain unless you pin them, which doesn't happen a ton in high school football. The deep pins come on long punts, which Winterset won't have here. So you could get around 20, maybe less in terms of that net gain for a punt. So, I mean, your defense has played good. I guess the thing I'm trying to say is maybe take a shot because you know you're going to run it 3 times and see what happens. But
I mean, with how Jace Bellamy and White Swanson have ran the ball tonight and how explosive they are, I think you've at least got to give them one chance to either of them on the outside.
yeah, feels like they'll definitely be the 3rd down play call for sure. Be 2nd and 10, wishbone for Winterset. It's Rivera with the touch. Slung down after a gain of 3.
Tackle a 44 Beaver. He's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, like you said, this is maybe 4-down territory. You can punt to pin Independence a little deeper, but it's not going to give you a whole lot. I mean, 3rd and 7, this is exactly where you use White Swanson or Jace Bellamy because they probably have a better chance of picking it up running it than Winterset does passing it. I'm really curious to see how they use White Swanson on this play.
They have a 3-receiver set. They motion in a wide out. That's Tucker. And it's a passing play. It looks like a screen, and it's set up for White Swanson, who can't hang on to it, and then hit late. Winterset hoping for a flag. You'll get a second look at it. He gets hit initially. Certainly close there on the flag. Cook will punt. Apologize about that, guys. So Winterset punts. That's kind of what we were talking about, Jack, was do you want to push them back or kind of go to take more time off the clock?
Yeah, I mean, that was actually a almost perfect punt right there from Carson Cook, as it just went out a little too early as they almost got there to stop it. But, I mean, they're still able to run off. The issue with that possession is Winterset was only able to run off about a minute of clock there. So Independence was able to just get the ball right back.
A run there on 1st down for the Mustangs. They'll give Meyer 5.
Meyer with the quarterback run. Tackle by 24 Bellamy. 2nd 5.
Staring down the barrel of the final minute here in the 3rd. They do the quick game. Essentially kind of a screen to Fueling, who will pick up enough for the 1st down.
Pass caught by number 3, Dawson Fueling.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't seen Independence throw the ball down the field all that much, and when they have, they're just chucking it. And the double coverage this quick game has been really their whole offense.
Quarterback keeper once again. Meyer will get close to 5.
I mean, the clock's about to run out for the 3rd quarter, but if you're Winterset, you're completely fine with them running the ball with Meyer for 5 yards a pop and just slowly forcing them into the end zone, even if they do score.
Meyer will keep it himself. Close to the sticks. May have it.
Meyer, the ball carrier.
Huh? Voice is struggling. Here we go. So they do give Meyer the 1st. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Once again, the quarterback run game. Meyer looks like he may get the first down. They'll call him a yard short. But that will end the third quarter. Winterset has dominated for 3 out of 4 quarters. They've got one more to go before moving on to the quarterfinals of the Class 3A playoffs. We'll see you back here in a bit for the 4th and final quarter here in Winterset.
High school activities have given me the opportunity to get involved and make new friends.
Compete in sports that I love and meet new people.
Do something I love while building the programs in my community.
Not just be a role model off the court, but also be a role model on the court.
Make connections and meet new people.
They've given me a reason to work hard and better myself for the future, set good examples to the younger athletes.
Have a positive impact on my community.
Help us support Iowa high school activities.
Jones Creek Apparel offers graphics and logo design, screen printing, embroidery, direct-to-film, and promotional products. Proud supporters of Winterset Athletics. They are happy to work with any organization or individual, regardless of the order size. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. Give them a call at 515-462-4132 or visit their website, jonescreekapparel.com. Jones Creek Apparel.
It's fun. 4th and final quarter here in Winterset, about to get started. Evan Wessling alongside Jack Keller. We got one more to go. It's 2nd and 1. Looks like it was supposed to be a screen. Meyer's going to take off to the far side, and Hirsch got him near the sideline, and they will throw the flag on a late hit out of bounds on Cale Hirsch.
Yeah, we don't have the best look from our angle of if Meyer was out of bounds when Hirsch hit him. That's one where you just got to let him go there. You know that
for sure.
That Meyer's running out of bounds. It wasn't like he was
trying
to run for more.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
And if there's one position that gets a little bit more grace when they're on the sideline, it's certainly the quarterback. So you got to try and pump the brakes a little bit out there. But then you have interesting guys like Patrick Mahomes who likes to play the game on the sideline, maybe lower the shoulder every now and then. So it's interesting how quarterbacks tend to maneuver the sideline. It is certainly to their advantage. Meyer wasn't really trying to do anything there for Independence. Hirsch has got him a little late. So now the Mustangs just outside the 30-yard line at the 31, the most promising drive they've had since the one right before half where they threw an interception. A gain of 2 for Mostek. Actually, make that 1.
Yeah, and if there's one thing, if you're Winterset with the spot that you're in, you just can't have flags like that. I mean, I'm sure that might not be like why they lose the game or anything, but you just don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to give them those 3 yards without having to take anything off the clock.
Keeper once again for Meyer. Submarines forward. Get about 4 yards there to make it 3rd down and 5.
Tackle by forward Hayden Ryan. 3rd and 5.
Obviously 4-down territory. The interesting thing, and we kind of talked about it, there wasn't a lot to this offense. After the screen game got shut down, they really only had the quarterback run game. You saw the last drive, they just did 2 essentially Hail Marys is kind of what it felt like on 1st and 3rd downs. So even if Independence scores here, they've taken off close to 5 minutes. They had the last 3 minutes of the 3rd quarter. And now they've taken off nearly 2, just a little over 1 for now. It will be 4th down after Winterset was able to bat it down on 3rd and 5. And obviously the Mustangs will be going. It's going to be a tough task to score 3 times here in the 4th, but if they do not get this, it feels all but over.
Nachos and walking tacos.
I mean, 4th and 5 we've seen in these spots. They've gone with the quarterback keeper. I think that's kind of a tough call here, trusting your offensive line and just going with the run. It's going to be interesting to see what this call is.
It's a passing play. We do have a whistle blown, potentially a timeout.
Snap. Timeout. Independence.
Kind of surprised Independence called a timeout right there. When you're in a spot like this, you need all the timeouts that you can have. Obviously, this is an important play, but you need you need those timeouts because there could come a time if this game gets closer that they need to get a stop and get the ball back. And if you don't have those timeouts, it's harder to stop the clock. But obviously this 4th and 5 play is huge. We saw it didn't look like they were going with the quarterback power. When that play was blown dead, it looked like they were going to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, and I do really think the question is, do they have much outside the quarterback run game? We've talked about it all night long. Now, they are in 4th and 5, so the quick game is there, and that has been the part of the passing game that has worked. So I don't imagine this is if they do choose pass, it's not going to be some true drop back where Meyer sits back and scans. It would be something quick, or he's going to be on the move. I just can't imagine that you take your best asset out of the game, which is Chris Meyer's legs. 4th down and 5, 10.5 left to play in the 4th quarter. Huskies up 21-0, fueling in motion. There's the quarterback run. Meyer needs 5. It'll be close. The initial spot may be short.
Meyer's the ball carrier to the middle.
And he was short. The Husky defense, they give up 4. They had 5 to give, and it's a turnover on downs in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean, the story of this Independence offense tonight has just been predictable. Earlier in the game when they were running screen passes, it was predictable. Winterset found a way to stop it. 4th and 5, all they've done is run quarterback power on those situations all night long. Winterset knew it was coming, and they were able to stop Meyer and get this ball back. And you look at the spot the Winterset's in right now, it would take something catastrophic to lose this one.
Get ready for a whole lot of running game from the Huskies. We're going to try to bleed this 4th quarter. Up 21. Friend is firmly on their side, and this is something we talked about very early in the broadcast. If Winterset was in a position where the time was their friend, they were going to be in a very good spot to win this football game.
Yeah, because they run the ball so efficiently. They don't really have a lot of negative runs. They're able to get in good spots to run the ball, and even when Independence knows that a run is coming, they've still got the offensive line and the running backs to make it work. So obviously Winterset's in a good spot right now.
Winterset maybe gets 1. It was Rivera once again on the carry. Gonna give him 1 yard, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Tackled by 53.
Be curious to see if Winterset tries to do anything to get one of their playmakers in space, or if this is just another true run. I can't imagine this is a pass unless it be some kind of screen. They do bring in 3 receivers. Gurwell alongside Swanson and Tucker.
The last one they tried to go with a tunnel screen to Swanson. I'm curious if they try something similar here.
It's a pass, true drop back over the middle, up in the air, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mergen, bouncing it to the far side and tackled at the 25. McDonald in some pain. There is a flag on the play as well.
I'm not sure if that flag was thrown. It was thrown right about the time of the interception. I'm not sure if it's going to be before the interception or after, and if Independence would still keep the football.
Little high for McDonald. Nearly came down with it. Went off the top of his hands. And Mergen picked it off. Carson Cook signaling that it was against the Mustangs. So positive news number 1. Drake McDonald is on his feet. Walking towards the sideline. Just took a hard fall. Kind of holding his
Before
back.
the interception, personal foul, illegal personal contact. Defense, number 31, hit on a defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, results in a 1st down.
Wow, so essentially illegal contact. Now, not the same thing as the illegal contact you'll hear in college football or the National Football League, but it was a hit on a defenseless player. So I don't know if we have a replay and if that was around the play of the interception, if it was off of it. I don't know what it is, but Winterset doesn't have the interception and they'll keep the ball. So if that was on the hit to McDonald, I don't know. I mean, obviously, the two of us are going to have, you know, black and gold blood here, but I don't know if that's a penalty personally. I don't know.
I mean, I guess McDonald's technically defenseless there, but that
it's a play on the ball.
To me that looked like a pretty clean hit, as they're showing it again.
And it's got to be on McDonald. I can't.
I mean, he did lead with his helmet, but sure their coaches are not too happy about that last call. As I mean, they had an interception.
I don't blame them.
And a key to get back in this game is when we talk about that penalty, it looked like he might have led with his helmet there, but right to McDonald's back. But something where if you're an Independence coach, you're definitely not very happy about the call.
I mean, and that's a game changer. I mean, it would have been hard. I mean, even if they get a touchdown on that drive, there's still probably under 8 minutes to go in this football game, and you need 2 more scores. But they were going to be at the 25-yard line of Winterset, and a chance to finally get on the board potentially. Bellamy splits a couple of tacklers, is going to be able to pick up a first down, kind of throw down awkwardly. But he gets up after picking up the first down.
I mean, Jace Bellamy is just such a good runner of the football. I mean, if he wasn't so good on defense, I'm curious if they would use him more as a runner and maybe just a pure running back, just because, I mean, every time he touches the ball, you just can't tackle the guy. He's so elusive, and it seems like he's picking up over 10 yards almost every carry.
I mean, you look on the season between him and Swanson. Bellamy is averaging 9.2 yards per carry. Swanson, 13.5. They are an explosive every time they touch the football. It looks like Coach Sweeney's going to burn his second timeout here.
Timeout.
So 7.5 left to play.
Once again, good
I think I can say how impressive the offense is on the field today, but to hold this Independence offense to 0 points through 3.5 quarters is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was skeptical coming in because this Winterset defense hasn't really faced that good of a passing offense outside of Adel and Nevada. In both of those games, they got thrown the ball on them pretty well. But tonight, I mean, against one of the best statistical quarterbacks in all of 3A, they've just completely shut down this offense. But they've been really impressive to me.
And, you know, we talked about this run game was not going to go anywhere. They had proven that this run game works against playoff caliber teams in Williamsburg and DMC as Cook unleashes one downfield, another jump ball for Wyatt Swanson. He wins it again. Have a game, Wyatt Swanson.
I mean, this is pretty close to what we saw in the first quarter when Cook, I mean, that's a perfect throw to Wyatt Swanson, and the that he has, he can just throw it up, and he knows Wyatt Swanson is a big receiver, and he's going to go and win that rep. He knows how good a receiver he is, and it's just so important for a team and an offense like this to have a receiver that you can just throw the ball up to, and you're confident that he's going to come down with it.
41-yard completion to Wyatt Swanson. Winterset not looking to let the bleeding end anytime soon, trying to get up 20, potentially 28-0. We'll give it to Rivera. Can he get the hat trick? Is he in? He's just short at the 1. Gotta imagine Rivera's getting another touch here to go for a 3-touchdown performance.
Seems like that's the first time all season that Rivera's been denied at the goal line. It seems like every time he's just able to keep the legs churning and get in, but, I mean, 2nd and 1, I mean, you would assume that Rivera can get it in here.
The 2nd and goal from the 1. Huskies trying to put the cherry on top to what has been an uber-dominant night. Flashbacks to that Williamsburg game a couple weeks ago. They won 29-0 and just dominated from start to finish. This a different level, though, of an impressive performance. They'll give it to the fullback, and it's Messer into the end zone for the touchdown. So Rivera denied of the hat trick, but Winterset gets themselves another touchdown.
I mean, you know, when Coach Sweeney has a chance to go with the fullback dive, get in the end zone, he's going to take it every single time. Winterset going by 4 scores here with 6 minutes left. I mean, this game is all but over.
7-play drive It goes 78 yards. And Winterset adds another touchdown. PAT looks like it's good, and it will be. So it is now 28-0 with 6 minutes to go here in the fourth and final quarter.
You know it's a good night for Winterset when they go 4 for 4 on their PATs. It's something they've kind of struggled with this year, but it's good to see going for the rest of this season and the rest of these playoffs that if they can get those PATs in order, they can sometimes make a big difference, as we saw last week. Even though they beat DMC, it kind of really affected that game. So it's a really positive thing to see that they go 4 for 4 and just kind of seamless on that specific part of the game tonight.
So it will not be a question of whether Winterset is playing football in November. That is going to become a reality next Friday night on November 7th. The question is where? Solon a perfect 9-0. If they win, it will be at Solon, and they would take on the 10-0 Spartans. Benton Community is the other one with a 5-4 record, and I would imagine if Benton wins, that game is being played here next Friday with Winterset being, I believe, the number 2 team here in Pod C. So maybe we can find a score for Solon through social media.
Halftime, Solon was up 24-0.
Okay. So it looks like the Huskies will travel out there to take on the Spartans with a chance to go to the Dome. It will be obviously a super tough matchup. A 10-0 team. Try to confirm, get you a confirmation on their RPI here. They're one of 2 undefeateds. It's them and Clear Lake that finished the regular season a perfect 9-0. Just imagine the Jeopardy theme song here as I scroll through these pages. And Solon is your number 2 ranked team in terms of the RPI. 9-0, as we said. Their RPI came in at .68. Screen pass. And not a lot there. No gain on the screen. But Winterset, what we've seen over the past couple weeks, as this is a team who has probably been looked at as a team who has upset teams in back-to-back weeks. I understand that Winterset is the home game here tonight, but Independence 3 spots above them in terms of RPI. Last week, the Huskies were ranked 13th in the RPI, and they took down the previously ranked number 8 team in DMC. So upsets back-to-back weeks in terms of their RPI. So who knows? Maybe they've got one more left in them next week.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the RPI all you want, but this Winterset team has been so different from like the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Their offense has completely transformed with how they've used Bellamy and Swanson, and they've just gave this Winterset offense just a completely different element, and this defense has just continued to improve each and every week.
Quarterback run game will continue for Chris Meyer in the Mustangs. Independence season will come to a close tonight here in Winterset. They're going to have a final record of 6-4. And kind of when you look at their schedule, they had 4 incredibly dominant wins to begin their season as they connect downfield. A great throw to Fueling. I mean, could not have handed that one off any better if you're Chris Meyer. Just a little late for the Mustangs for that type of completion.
I mean, that's why Chris Meyer is one of the best quarterbacks in 3A. That's a perfect pass. He's throwing that to the boundary and just puts it in a perfect spot between 2 Winterset defenders. I mean, you kind of wonder why they haven't thrown the ball down the field in a more creative way tonight.
Mustangs just looking for some pride here, trying to make sure they're not shut out in their final game of the season. But what I was getting to before that bomb, their scores of the first 4 games, all wins. 47-14, 45-7, 37-19, and 45-6. Those are obviously their 4 non-con games. But they only won 2 games in their district, and it was against the 5th and 6th ranked teams, 35-0 and 49-13. They lost to the 3 teams who made the playoffs, those being Clear Lake, West Delaware, and Benton County. Now, Clear Lake is number 1. West Delaware is number 3. So there's a couple of really good teams there, but they lost by 15 to West Delaware. They got creamed by Clear Lake, losing by 43. They were competitive against Benton, only losing by 6. But I guess the thing when you look at this Independence football team is they didn't fare great this season
block below the
against
waist.
competitive
Defense
competition.
number 24. Half the distance to the goal. It is a first down.
I mean, that's something when you look at a game like this, they really, I mean, the closest team that they faced in terms of how good they are to Winterset is Benton. I mean, they played 2 of the top 3 teams in the entire class, and besides that, they just killed everyone. So, I mean, it's a tough spot for Independence to be in, and they really haven't been very battle-tested this year.
Meyer lost the football. Winterset stripped it out at the goal line. Unbelievable.
Be interesting to see if he was actually across the goal line. Obviously, there's no review in high school.
It's very close. From that angle, you can't really tell when it popped out, but, man, that's been Independence night summed up in one play.
I mean, they just spotted the ball, and I don't think it can be any closer to the goal line without being in. I mean, you'll likely see some quarterback sneaks here from Winterset just trying to get
out of the end zone.
Make sure they don't give up a safety.
I mean, man, that's one of those plays that sucks. I mean, they're Independence playing for pride at that point, didn't want to get shut out in their final game of the season, and you're stripped at the 1-yard line. And, again, it's dominance from start to finish from the Huskies. Quarterback sneak, a bit of a tush push out of the wishbone. Cook maybe gets a yard. Looks like they'll give him 1. As a final 3.5 wind down, we will be down on the field to interview Coach Sweeney along with a couple players afterwards, so be sure to stay on the broadcast. After the conclusion, we'll run a couple commercials, allow Jack and I to get down to the field and have some questions. Should be some fun times down on the field talking to a couple players and Coach Sweeney and, really just recap what has been an incredible month plus. I mean, 5 straight wins now for this Winterset football team. And you talked about it not too long ago, Jack, but this team is completely different from the one through the first 4 games. Dwight Swanson takes a lick there after the carry, but the beginning of the season, it was kind of, what was this team going to look like? It was lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, and then they ripped off 3 straight after they got to 500, beating Knoxville 56-15, and they haven't looked back. It's been a very fun football team to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that. I believe it was week 2 against Creston.
Yeah.
Who was bottom 5 in RPI in the entire class, and they went down to the wire.
Yeah, only 1 by 1. It was 28-27 the final there.
I mean, you can kind of look at that as how far this team has come. If you go back to that day and you would tell me that they would become a playoff team and win a playoff game, I would be absolutely shocked.
And very decisively.
Yeah,
I mean,
in
not
very
close.
dominating fashion. I mean, I'd be shocked because you look at that football team from then to now, they've just fully changed. And it's really a testament to the coaching. Coach Sweeney's been doing this for a long time, and he's just had these boys ready to play each and every week, and they've given it their all.
2:16 left to go here in this one. And Winterset's done it in all facets. The run game has been great, as it has been for the past month, but this is easily the best defensive performance of the season for Winterset. And when you're going on the road to face a top 2 team in your class, you're going to need your defense to show up. So I'd have to imagine for both Sweeneys, Zach and alongside Jaden, I mean, you've got to feel really good about how your defense performed, which could really give you a true feel of, hey, we've got a chance next week.
Yeah, I think with the defense, what's really surprised me tonight is how they've used Jace Bellamy and White Swanson. They've used them in creative ways on offense. Tonight it was the defense. I mean, Bellamy they've used kind of in a linebacker spot a lot of times this year, but White Swanson, we really haven't seen him at corner, or at least I can't remember all year long seeing him at corner, and they used him tonight just because of how versatile an athlete he is. You can put him at corner, and he'll hold his own. He can go blow up a few screen passes if that's what it requires, and if that's what the game requires.
Winterset coughs it up, so Independence will get a chance here to potentially get some points before the conclusion of this one. Fumbles were a problem last week, 4 fumbles against Des Moines Christian. That was just the first turnover tonight. Excuse me, and Jack, that was another thing we talked about in the playoffs. I mean, this is a case in any football game. I mean, the details in football are so huge because the margins are so small. And you're always going to talk about the turnover margin, but in the playoffs specifically, you have to be very good, and Winterset tonight has been.
I mean, yeah, turnovers, they can make they're just a huge turning point, a huge momentum, just shifting thing in a football game. Obviously, when you're up 28-0 with 2 minutes left, I mean, it's not going to do a lot. But when you remember that interception that Jace Bellamy had right before halftime when they tried a double pass to the end zone, that flipped the game.
Absolutely.
Independence was moving the ball. They were down 14-0 at the time, and they were going to get the ball to start halftime. And that's just how big of a playmaker Jace Bellamy is, as he's able to completely change a game with a turnover. And that's just why this Winterset team has been so good over the past month or so, is because of the playmakers that they have on both sides of the ball.
Meyer gets in this time cleanly for the touchdown. And now you've got a funky play here on the PAT formation, completely out to the near side. You actually have Meyer serving as the long snapper. And now they'll motion everybody back in.
I feel like coaches are just kind of bored with PATs sometimes.
How can we make this entertaining, right? PAT, did that stay in? They say no.
I don't know how you call that. You don't normally see a kick.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
The top. I feel like that probably should be a good good kick. I mean, if you hit the top, you've got to think at least part of that ball was on the inside.
Right. Yeah.
Which would make it a good PAT. I don't know.
Weird situation. That was the 7th missed PAT on the season for Tyler Brown, his lone attempt here tonight. And likely going to see an onside kick coming for Independence, trying to potentially string some kind of miracle together. Obviously, they don't have enough time to find a way to win. There would have to be some very wacky things to go down in order for that to happen. If they don't get it, though, Winterset likely will run out the clock. I would find it hard to believe that Coach Putz would use his 2 timeouts. I mean, who knows? But we'll see. And the onside kick will be recovered by Winterset. Looked like potentially it was Tucker who fell on it. They say it was Hirsch. So yeah, I guess this is just the situation. Will Independence call their timeouts, or can Winterset just bleed this one out here on this set of downs? If Independence does choose to call their timeouts, then Winterset will need 1 first down to officially end this football game. But the story, Winterset's season is not over. They've won 5 consecutive games now, from 2-3 to 7-3, and a chance to go to the Dome. Their first year in Class 3A and a chance to get to the biggest stage next week. They'll have to take down the 2nd-ranked team in Class 3A in Solon, and Carson Cook fumbles after about a 9-yard gain on a quarterback sneak. And stay in your seats, folks. We got some more football to be played.
The latest update on Solon, they are up 31-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter. So, I mean, that's going to be decided. It's going to be Winterset at Solon next week.
That will be 2 versus 11 in terms of the RPI, 1 versus 2 in Pod C. The trip to go to Cedar Falls and the UNI Dome. Obviously the grand stage of Iowa high school football. And a big moment for any kid to kind of play on that stage. And Winterset will have their opportunity to get there next week. And is it intercepted? It is. It's Cale Hirsch who comes down with it. And finally, an interception for Cale. He had a couple chances this season, and he finally gets one.
Yeah, I think Winterset might take a different approach to this this possession and just kneel this one out. As we talk about Solon next week, I feel like you've got to feel pretty confident. Maybe not in Winterset's ability to go in there and just run the table and beat Solon, but with how well that they've played, you've got to feel good about this offense and especially the defense.
Yeah.
Because what they've done to Independence has just completely surprised me, and how well they've played and just completely shut down everything that they've tried to do. You know, the most successful thing that they had was the quarterback run with Chris Meyer, and even that, they stopped them when they needed to most on a 4th and 5. They stopped them on that quarterback run, so they were able to stop everything that Independence threw at them, and it's going to take a long week of preparing for Solon, but I'm very interested to see how that one plays out next week.
Winterset will just have to snap this football, and this game will be over. 3 seconds left on the play clock, and taking the knee is Carson Cook, and that will officially do it. Your final score is going to be 28-6 in favor of Winterset. They're moving on to the quarterfinals to take on Solon next week. Final thoughts from you, Jack, before we head down to the field.
Yeah, obviously just a complete team win from Winterset, maybe the most complete that we've seen all year. The defense stepped up. It was really just a key part of this game was how well the defense played. And you saw it on offense. Jace Bellamy and Wyatt Swanson just completely dynamic. Took over this game on both sides of the ball. You've got to feel pretty good going into next week.
Well, that will do it for us for now. Stay here on the broadcast. We'll see you here shortly with Coach Sweeney and a couple of star players.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield, where Nick Boulder, representing Winterset High School, makes a presentation to Independence High School. On behalf of the Winterset Community School District, the football team, we would like to congratulate you on your outstanding 2025 football season. Let's give a big round of applause for the Independence Mustangs for their success. The trophy and medals being presented are in honor of your hard work, dedication, accomplishments throughout the year. Congratulations to Coach Putz and the entire Mustang football team. And now, fans, let's hear it for your Winterset Huskies. Congratulations to Zach Sweeney and the Huskies as they advance to the quarterfinal round of the IHSAA playoffs next Friday. Way to go, Huskies. Keep it rolling.
Like all game, I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, here we are. Here we go.
Yeah, a little cold. Maybe that Velcro too, I don't know. I got way.
I'm on my. Alan, my microphone's plugged into input 2. The regular mic is hooked into input 1. Both are red and black are connected. Black is connected into mic.
There we go. Quick. Try it again.
Yes. I see the volume on the screen. Do you have me now? Because we got. Hold on. All right. Do you have me now? Because we had a loose connection on the mic.
Once again, let's hear it for your Huskies. With the win tonight, we're going to make some changes in the fall musical special. The Friday performance of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels will now take place on Sunday at 2 p.m.
There's a slide on the. Oh, it's up top.
Hold on,
That means you can catch the Dirty Rotten Scoundrels show on Saturday, November 8th at 2 and at 7, and again on Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m.
All right, so hold on. All right, so the door on the side, you want me to open it? Channel 1, channel 2. What do you want me to do? Channel 2, slide it once. All right, so now it's like. Okay, I think I see it. Alan, I think I see it. Hang on, this is it?
Check.
All right, talk now.
Check.
Check. Yep. Alright, so I switched input 1 and input 2, and then I check. I got to switch everything back. It didn't fix anything.
Check.
Check, 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 check. I don't know if I want to check. Check, check.
That's the same thing I see down here, Alan. I can see your volume meter going, but nothing's going. I'm going back to your original setup real quick.
Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
input, line. Okay, line in, line. Check, check, check. Nope. Nothing. Check, check, check. Check. Check, check. Check, check. Check, check.
But I also have this like crazy metabolism like I'm a 14-year-old, so like my energy is still like
They're asking if they
Tell them to give us at least one more minute of some problem solving, and then we'll give them an answer for sure.
Check, check. Check 1, 2. It's fixed.
Fixed? Alright, it's fixed. We are running.
Sure, whatever you need. Kane, if you want to get the, hey, whoa, we want to get the bike up to the school first. We can. Hey, and that white thing of ice up to the school. Are those guys going to come back or no? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, you got them, you want bang bang?
We can have all the guys together. We could do you separately.
Jay! Yeah, well, I'll go and then you give it to James. Come on, hurry up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get in here. You just listen and look pretty.
All right. Test.
Say check.
Hello. Test.
Kane would go right through the middle of everybody.
Is it one at a time?
Yeah,
hey.
not even close to.
Get out.
Get away.
Get out of the frame.
VJ Spellman's about to talk.
They said no ever.
VJ Spellman's about to talk.
You tell me when we're on.
Check. Come here. Hold this. Just hold it.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're good. No, she's.
You got the doors clear outside. I didn't. Can you hear me? No, I just don't.
That's how it goes, brother.
Just showed up. I am too.
Check. You got me? Test 1, 2.
You got him?
You got me?
I'm here.
Hey, you can be in the frame. We'll pass it. I'll get out of the hair, and you guys just don't make us look too silly.
Just want to do it, and if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. You good? Okay, tell me when to go. All right, everybody on the field alongside Coach Sweeney, Jay Spellman, a lot of others we'll get to here later. We'll start with Coach. First thing I wanted to talk about, you guys have won 5 in a row. You guys have been a completely different football team over the past month or so.
Quit it.
What has happened to become the football team you guys are and getting to the quarterfinals as well?
It's cliche, but it all starts with practice. This guy came to safeties, for example, 2 years ago and just started doing everything we asked and doing it right. And obviously he's a tremendous person and a tremendous player. And when you got guys that come out and do work and do it right and go hard, tremendously hard, that builds some credibility along with these guys back here. And then literally we got down to one play at a time. We still are who we are. We still are a little too chaotic for me at times because like guys talking when I'm talking, so put them in the figure 4 leg lock. But great teams have it, great leaders have it, companies, it's hard to define. And these guys came together. We had kind of a little meeting after the Van Meter game down in the locker room. And, we thought we knew who we were, but we had to prove it in that first start with ourselves. And those guys did that one play at a time. Super proud.
I wanted to start with your defense, too, because we knew that your run game was going to stay. It's been amazing for the past month. You guys shut down a tremendous offense with an incredible quarterback. What went into a great defensive performance?
We're pretty salty on the back end, as you can see with some of these guys. And there's postseason honors in here to come, but it really starts up front. We've been rotating a lot of guys. We got healthy up there, and those are thankless things to do your job every time up front. But once we started taking care of A gap and B gap, our linebackers play faster, and our DBs just get great reads. Once we start doing that thankless work, Coach put in extra drills, Coach Sweeney, Coach Kane, and then those guys started seeing the fruits of their labor too, because then they're making more plays. But man, to get there sometimes it's tough because it ain't easy, but man, we did the work in the trenches.
One more for you, then we'll get to the players. Obviously, take time to enjoy this one. The next week, also a very talented football team, 10-0. What does it take to go on?
Hopefully with the roads we can get out of town on a bus, make it to 80, or maybe we'll hit some gravel. I don't know. No, what it's going to take is these guys play so hard. We used to reference a poem from Sir Andrew, when we lost, we'll just lie down and bleed a while and rise and fight again. And that's kind of what we've been doing since that Nevada game. Hey, we play hard, we got to heal up, we got to get in the game plan. These guys here have done a great job on O&D with execution, and it's only going to get tougher, and that's the way it should be. I mean, we're playing football in November, and we're going to show up and play hard, play fast, and these guys are going to have a heck of a bus ride there and back. And we get to practice for one more week. So proud of these guys. Proud of these guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Ev.
All right. I'll start with Jace here.
Thank you.
So, Jace, last year you played obviously a lot of safety, but not very much on offense. How's it been different this year with playing so much safety, but also running back, taking snaps at wild side?
It's different, not really used to it. The offense taking the blows, but the trainers got me, the coaches got me. There's always water on the sideline. Yeah, it really helps with the good coaching stuff.
I'm curious, when you go down on the field, do you ever think like you're going to be out for a game, or are you just ready to go back?
That one down there near the end zone, I thought I was done. My knee was hurt. But I got up, started running, so that felt good.
I'll go to Jude next. Jude, this is your first year really playing a lot of snaps at cornerback, and you played just great tonight, blowing those screen pass stuff. How's it been just learning how to play cornerback throughout this season?
You know, I feel like the first couple games I had a couple good games, but towards district play I had a couple mess ups. I went inside a couple too many times, but working back outside, and it's working. I trust my coaches, and they got me, and we're winning games. So,
you know, going into tonight, Independence still a lot of screen passes. Is that something throughout the week that you're prepared to stop?
Yeah, I mean, every day we just worked on the screen passes, fade out of the screen passes. So we were prepared. Like every single week, our coaches, they get in the film pretty quick, and they really know what's going to happen.
Ben, obviously you're a little banged up coming into this one, but how is it being able to get out there on defense, even though you weren't able to get out there on defense?
It was great. You know, last week got a little banged up, but I've been, physical therapy all week. You know, it's kind of been up in the air, but right before game time is the gave the green light. I'm ready to go.
Kale, you had your first interception of the season tonight to kind of seal that game. How big of a moment?
It was pretty special. Facing adversity all year. Just trying to get that pick after seeing my teammates be successful on the field. I thought it was my time and came down with the ball.
Carson, this is your first year starting. What does it mean to you to lead your team to a playoff win in your first year?
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Every single game, I'm just playing for my brothers beside me, the seniors. You know, it's always, I wouldn't say it's pressure, but I just want to make sure that our team has the best opportunity to win at the end of the day, and it's just been amazing. This team's just amazing.
All right, thanks. Leo, you anchor this team on that left side of the offensive line. It seems like every big play, we run to the left side. How important is that to you to kind of just anchor this line?
I think it's really important. I love helping my brothers and seeing them running back succeed and watching them get some points on the board.
Wyatt, you are all over the field tonight, whether it's on defense, I saw you line up cornerback a little bit. And when you're a running back, you were just so explosive. How does it feel to kind of, when you're running on the sideline, do you think that you're just going to beat anyone?
Oh yeah, I'm really confident in myself, and if anyone comes off the edge of me, I know I can get around him every single time. So.
Yeah, you also had a huge sack tonight. I mean, you've done a little bit of everything all year long, whether that's on offense or defense. How's it like playing edge and quarterback?
Edge, that sack, that's all my coaches. He had a great blitz call there. Quarterback was left wide open. Quarterback on offense, man, it's nice being back there and saying, you know what I mean? Being able to be the leader of the offense just for a little bit is just amazing.
All right, thanks, Wyatt.
All right, well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for us tonight. Thank you all for an incredible season of Winterset Husky football. They'll be playing next week at Solon for a chance to go to the Dome. I asked you earlier, Jack, any final thoughts for our last game here this season in 2025?
Yeah, obviously next week is going to be a huge game for Winterset. I mean, it's going to come down to every phase of the game. You're going to need special teams, you're going to need offense, especially that defense. If they can travel with the way that Winterset has ran the ball this year, I think that they have a pretty good chance of pulling out a win next week.
Awesome. That's going to go ahead and do it for us. On behalf of all of our production crew, our camera operators, Jack Keller and myself, I'm Evan Westling saying so long from Winterset, where your final score is 28-7 in favor of the Huskies. All right.
You have been watching Winterset Activities live on the Husky YouTube channel, presented by the W Digital Network, powered by AHV Productions, and sponsored by Farmers and Merchant State Bank, Winterset Dental, Whitney Messerschmitt with Edward Jones, Tiki Treats, Integrity Financial, Madison County Healthcare System, Agriland FS, the Sports Page Grill, Roush Collision and Restoration, McDonald's, Swanson Masonry, Suds and Pups, Laundry and Dog Wash, the Pizza Ranch of Winterset, Jones Creek Apparel, Montross Pharmacy and Gift Shop, Union State Bank, and the Husky Booster Club.